Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, another night for some Bitsler. We're going towards the closing stages of the group stage. My name is Dktruman, and I'm once again joined by Sparks. Well, Sparks, could you set the scene for us?
Yeah, hi everyone. I am back again. Today we're going to be watching APU King of Kings versus NoPing Esports. I think what is quite interesting about this is that it's the fourth place versus the fifth place, NoPing being the fourth place here. So I feel like both teams are definitely quite well matched. So I'm quite curious to see which one is going to win here.
Yeah, it's very close affair. You get two partially Brazilian teams against each other. Of course, not completely Brazilian on both rosters. However, we get to see a little bit of the Brazilian shenanigans going in. A couple of heroes that these teams definitely do tend to play are very interesting. For instance, Broodmother is definitely a hero that needs to either be picked or banned between the two sides. But yeah, we are getting to the point in the tournament where you need to get some wins if you want to make it towards the playoffs. Because, of course, the most important thing is there are 8 teams in total, and there are only 2 slots that give prizes. Actually, 3 slots that give prizes. First place gets 10 grand, second place gets 4, and third place gets 1. You at least want to make it towards the playoffs, and that is what these two teams are vying for. 4th and 5th place, respectively. But a couple more games than, for instance, Lava played. So there's definitely still... it's getting pretty scary for these two teams.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm just quite curious to see what's going to happen here. I think we casted APU King of Kings last time. I'm not sure if that was with you or if that was with Aponzus. But I'm definitely curious to see more of them. I think APU King of Kings is a very interesting team, and I love to watch them play. So I'm not going to be biased. I just like their style. So I'm kind of I'm not cheering for them per se. I'm just hoping that they're going to give us a show.
Well,
That's all. Because I'm still unbiased. Yeah.
well, everyone has their preferences. It's no problem having them at all. For instance, I personally really like the NoPing roster. I like their players. I've been a fan of RDO since ever he played in Bait in Europe with, of course, Dendy last year. But, they have some pretty solid members in the roster as well to back him up. Analog, Monster, Thealacor, and KJ to finish off the NoPing roster. Versus APU, King of Kings, Benny, Mini, Valky, Jupiter, and, well, a name that I always pronounce incorrectly, Nuages. Yep, that's a solid roster as well. A very surprising team, I might add, this year in the DPC season. They've been actually very outstanding in their performance and really keeping the Brazilian head high for the region, even though, it's half Brazilian, half Peruvian for the time being.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I just really like the way they play. I'm kind of having a little look at stats right now. I made a little document seeing what kind of stats we can find about these two teams. So I think you know a little bit more about NoPing. What is something that is, in your opinion, kind of unique about NoPing? About maybe their team play or maybe hero choices or anything at all.
Well, before I go to that, I actually have one slight thing that I need to mention, which I completely forgot to mention. Falke is not playing anymore for the side of APU King of Kings. He has actually left the team today and has been
Oh,
replaced by Sexy Fat, who of course used to play
huh.
on Bait as well, together with RDO last year. So, okay, that's a bit of a curveball right there. Now I have absolutely no idea what's coming in because I was just thinking, okay, they're going to ban Brood 100%, but I don't even know if Sexy Fat plays Brood.
Yeah, I'm having a look because I did not know about this. So this is news to me as well. Obviously, I've been kind of looking at the stats of the what I thought was the current team. However, that's going to be a little bit different now. Do you have any stats on Sexy Fat?
I do not,
Hmm.
mainly because he hasn't really played for a reasonable amount of time in I think he's actually played in the roster that was with Duster. And Duster is currently in the what's that team called? Wolf team. The Division 2 team. So yeah,
right, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's
I mean,
interesting.
I was gonna say that's quite interesting actually, because that might be a big surprise for us. You know, they're gonna be able to surprise us with this player that we are not as familiar with, who has maybe heroes that we are not as familiar with. So you know, I'm usually kind of hoping for not the usual meta picks, because I think, you know, just meta is getting a little bit boring, to be honest. So I'm really hoping that this new player might bring some kind of, you know, spice to it. Hoping.
Though, to be fair, there are some hero picks that NoPing tend to go for that aren't necessarily, heavy meta picks in that regard. I mean, they're still one of the teams that go for Terrorblade, which is a hero that you very rarely see being picked up in the process. But for the most part, you know, there's a reason why most picks are meta. It's just because at that moment they are the best. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, but it's, you know, it can get a bit boring, you know? I like to see some heroes that are not, you know, that people don't really think about, but that turn out to be really good in a certain context.
Yeah, those heroes have come into the meta because they have been tried out.
Different ones.
Yeah, but that's not how it works.
I don't care. I want just anything spice. I do see a Beastmaster ban right away, though, actually, here on the side of NoPing. Sorry, draft has
we will jump
started.
into the draft right now.
Sorry, I'm a little bit ahead. But yeah, I noticed that Beastmaster on the side of NoPing. That is, I mean, have we really seen a lot of Beastmasters?
Yes, actually, Beastmaster has still been a very predominantly heavy in every region for the most part. Being picked up because it does counter a lot of heroes and is very good against the Quap with the Roar to lock her down, which you don't have necessarily too many heroes that do exactly that.
10 seconds.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I'll accept this. I mean, Beastmaster, I think in the games that I've casted, he's been banned a lot, I'm kind of assuming, and that's why I probably haven't seen him a lot. Quap standard ban or standard pick at this point. And Weaver is also not a huge surprise. Who on the side of APU King of Kings is known to play Weaver? I think it's their position 4, right?
Most of the time it's the position 4 is picking it up. That is actually a hero that NoPing do tend to pick up a lot, and that's the Phoenix. And that is not a meta pick. That is a hero that nobody else plays, mainly because Snapfire is a meta pick, and then you know, it's one of the hardest counters to the Phoenix.
With the egg and the, I mean, I do love that. Yeah, I looked at the stats before that Phoenix is the highest win rate hero for KJ this last month. So it's definitely a little bit of an off-meta pick, as well as a very successful pick for them. So, you know, that is quite exciting. And then Invoker on the other side, APU King of Kings. Invoker, obviously quite a solid mid laner, has definitely been good for quite a while, and has kind of always been good in some way, right? Depending on the way that you build him.
Yeah, but the problem is everyone goes Quas-Wex, so everyone's building it wrong.
Oh, right, yeah, you were mad about that last time. I remember this.
I always am. He's going to do the same because he kind of needs attack speed to deal with the Phoenix Egg, and it's just good for most team fighting. However, if your safe laner has a tough lane, then yeah, that's you need to be able to make a lot of plays. With the Weaver, that's definitely possible to try and roam around the map and catch off, you know, a Phoenix. For the most part, not necessarily the most survivable hero. Does have a way out and the egg, but those are normally on very long cooldowns.
So the Void Spirit ban on the side of APU King of Kings, is Void Spirit known to be a counter versus two of their heroes already picked?
Not necessarily. I mean, the silence is pretty annoying if you get the Aghanim Scepter. For the most part, I don't really see the biggest use of the Void Spirit. I think Theodore plays it 4 though, and it is kind of a tough hero to control. Like you hit him with the Voker, Urn plus the Icy Touch. No, not Icy Touch. Cold Snap. And he just dissimulates and walks away. So it's very annoying in that regard, but it's not necessarily known as like a hard counter to these heroes. Mainly because you could just purge off his shield with a Quaswax Foker.
Right, yeah, okay, so I'm kind of thinking NoPing isn't really known to play Void Spirit, right? I'm kind of looking at their last month and I don't think they've picked Void Spirit a single time, actually. So, but okay, you know, it's maybe one of those heroes that they just really don't want to deal with, which is very fair. Rubik banned as well on the side of APU King of Kings. Understandable. Rubik is so annoying. Kind of thinking that maybe APU King of Kings is going to be wanting to pick up some team fight heavy heroes, maybe some spells that they really, really don't want to see get stolen by a Rubik.
Yeah, Weaver, of course, has got that Shikuchi that Rubik tends to always yoink away. The Voker spells are okay to steal if you get like a Tornado yoinked. And that, and well, of course, Theodlacor, a very renowned Rubik spammer in the Brazilian scene. But yeah, with these next upcoming picks, they're making sure the supports get banned out in the process. APU need... I mean, they can still swap it around. They could go for a 5 or a 4, considering where they really want to put the Weaver in that regard. Sexy Fat, for me, is a blank screen. I have no idea what he's going to be picking. So that's always going to be fun.
Mm-hmm. So I'm kind of thinking, regarding the position, Sexy Fat what position is he going to be playing? What position was offlane? Right, yeah, okay. Okay, so keeping my eyes open for a very interesting offlane pick here. Ogre Magi ban on the side of NoPing. Yeah, I mean, you know, solid hero to get out of that hero pool there, because definitely very frustrating just to play against an Ogre Magi. I think it's definitely one of the better support heroes in my personal opinion. I hate playing him though, but he's definitely a good pickup. And Bane, I like that. Okay,
the Bane is well, that does mean that is most likely going to be Theodlacor on the Phoenix instead of KJ, unless they're going to make this a offlane monster Phoenix. But I'm definitely not a big fan of offlane Phoenix. Especially with the two heavy attack speed heroes on the side of APU King of Kings. And, I mean, Bane is pretty decent, but there's definitely a solid amount of heroes that can still counter him. Legion Commander, Abaddon. You get a Silencer in there, though, to be fair. If you get a Silencer, you're really lacking in control on the APU side of things.
Yes, that might not be best here. I mean, Evoker is a little bit of control, but yeah, you might want to pick up a support hero here on the side of APU King of Kings that has a little bit more control in that one, because Weaver is, you know, yeah, not that, really. Not that.
Well, it's, I quickly checked up Sexy Fat, and it's not too surprising. The heroes that I see him primarily play are the heroes that I remember from his time in Bait. Lot of Centaur, Darkseer, Mars, Pango, Timbersaw. So, yeah, just slightly different than some other heroes players, because not everyone goes for a Centaur, but that is, well, the Silencer is a hard counter to the Bane, Puck, and Phoenix if you get the ulti timed correctly.
I mean, that is kind of interesting, you know, you said, you know, Silencer maybe not, with a little bit of lack of control, but then they're picking Wraith King, which has a little bit of control. You know, yeah, I can definitely see it, and Silencer is such a strong laner as well. So any hero that is versus Silencer in lane is gonna be a very unhappy camper.
It's gonna be Silencer versus Phoenix for the most part, which is, yeah, I mean, it's annoying, but I honestly, for both sides, because the Phoenix can also definitely kill the Silencer if you walk out, especially with the Tidehunter in the lane. You get slowed down, you get a ton of burn on you. Silencer is not necessarily known to be able to survive anything, plus Tide really doesn't care about anything that the Silencer, except if you level Glaives, but normally Silencers don't tend to. I mean, you kind of have to against the Tidehunter, otherwise you're not going to be able to do anything against the Tidehunter, but then the Phoenix has the slow, for attack speed slow from his Fire Spirit, so then you barely do any damage regardless. It is a pretty good offlane for NoPing, plus a lot of team fight.
Yeah, I do love to see that. I think Tidehunter is I think Tidehunter is a great pickup. You know, I'd love to see a good Ravage. Also, entertainment value-wise, I love Tidehunter because a good Ravage is very entertaining, but a bad Ravage is also very entertaining. So whichever way this goes, I will be thoroughly entertained.
10 seconds.
Well, that's pretty much what we hope. You could also have the third version, and that is he
Oh,
never
no.
uses a Ravage, which also tends to happen every once in a while.
Oh no.
And then it's a whole different kind of game.
Yeah, that's some flashbacks to my pubs here. Thank you so much for that. There's an offlaner still needing to be picked for APU King of Kings and a safe laner for NoPing. PA has been thrown out here and Doom as well. Yeah, kind of curious what they're going to be picking up on the side of APU King of Kings regarding offlaners. What do we still have? We have Magnus is banned. We got Beastmaster, who is banned, as well as Doom and Tidehunter's picked. So, which kind of meta offlaners do we still have? Like, you were talking about that he plays Centaur?
Yeah, but I think Legion Commander probably is your best bet because, or
right, yeah,
something that
Bane.
deals with illusions. Because if they don't ban PL, this is a really good PL game for NoPing. Like, there's very little that APU King of Kings heroes can do so far against the PL pickup.
Okay, yeah, I'm quite interested if they pick that. I think good thing about PL is that he's recently gotten one of the best cosmetic sets in the game. I don't know if you've seen it, but I don't play PL a lot, but I got that set because it is amazing, and I hope they pick PL, and then I also hope that they bought the collector's cash and that they have that set because it's actually amazing.
Well, the TB ban coming through. I didn't actually check the collector's cache at all. The only thing that I know is that the Ogre Magi skin's amazing. But yeah, I actually didn't even check out the cache. I completely spaced out on the fact that it's up.
You are missing out completely, and after all this, you should definitely look at it. The PL set, if they don't pick it, Spirit Breaker ban. Oh, actually, yeah, I didn't even consider Spirit Breaker. Normally that gets picked up or banned like straight away, though. So that's interesting that they left it for so long.
It's not necessarily the greatest, but it's always pretty decent of a hero. But in this game, Puck, Dream, Coil, the Bane there with the Nightmare Fiend script combo. Phoenix just gets the egg in a very uncomfortable position, and Tide really does. I mean, the shard is pretty nice against Tide, but for the most part, he doesn't really care that much. APU King of Kings, their last pick is going to be the Mars, which is okay against the PL, but honestly, I think NoPing, they picked PL, and this is a very rough game for APU King of Kings.
I'm going to be interested in whether they do or don't pick PL, and if they don't, what they will pick. That was a very long sentence, and I said almost nothing.
Ricky, let's go.
Yes.
Ricky Maru. Also a very good
Maru.
Ricky game. Very good against the Mars in the lane. Silence against the Weaver, great. Manta style builder. Diffusal blade builder. They pick TA. They disappoint me severely.
None of the... Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh well. You know what? It is what it is. We deal with this. We deal with the heavy disappointments. And it's all going to be fine. We shouldn't get too tilted, especially you, because you will be tilted by Invoker anyway. So keep breathing. Yeah, it's looking like two decently solid lineups. Which of the two do you think has the best chances here?
This TA pickup. Yeah, I think that NoPing have the best chances. The fact that APU King of Kings are playing with a substitute, of course, also weighs in. Not that Sexy Fat is bad whatsoever. But the team fight on NoPing is pretty solid. I think the laning stage for NoPing could be a bit problematic. Depending on how, of course, APU King of Kings plays. If Bane, for instance, walks out of the lane. Oh, actually, it's a 4-position Bane. And it is Phoenix being played by KJ still. Regardless, it's going to be a pretty tough affair for the most part. I think the APU King of Kings lanes are slightly better than the NoPing's ones, where, you make one mistake, you walk out too far, you get killed. The only one that should have a pretty decent lane would be Monster on the Tide.
Yeah, I think both are looking decently solid. I have a little bit of a bias towards APU King of Kings, as I said before. Also because they pick two heroes that I am definitely very much in love with. One of them is Wraith King. The other one you may take a guess, and you will probably guess correctly. So I'm kind of loving that lineup. Maybe just for that reason. Maybe I have this big brain other reason, but I'm not gonna tell you.
I guess you like the Mars?
I'm not gonna tell.
I'm sensing
Yes, okay, yes, it's Mars. It's a
Okay.
big red offlaner. I mean, come on now.
Well, it's not Axe, so it doesn't count.
Yeah, I mean, it's good enough, you know, it's Axe enough.
It's
and,
not even the best big red offlaner.
Who is the best big red offlaner?
Axe.
I mean, yeah, I mean, except for Axe, obviously. Oh my god. I mean, I think Mars is a good second choice here. He's pretty much just as funny as Axe, you know, like a little bit of a weird dude with some strange voice lines and some crazy stuff. So I love to see that. Just noticing that this Invoker is level 30, isn't he?
That's a level
This is,
30 Invoker.
This is a man that plays a lot of Invoker. Oh my. That's intense. I mean, if you're gonna be a level 30 hero, might as well be a hero like Invoker, right? I mean, I don't play him, but I'm kind of assuming that Invoker is quite a versatile, interesting hero.
Now,
Question mark?
if you're gonna have a level 30 hero, then it should be techies. Like, there's no going around it. You join a game, and the enemy pick techies, and you see that he's level 30, it is like the heaviest mental blow that you can immediately take. You know from the beginning you're gonna have a terrible game, no one's gonna have fun, and it's gonna last an hour.
Well, it really depends, though, in what kind of skill bracket you are.
No, every skill
Because-
bracket, every
yeah?
techies that is level 30 is terribly annoying.
I've played versus some terrible level 30 techies where you're wondering what they've been doing all those games, you know? The answer is almost nothing, pretty much. But yeah, luckily, no techies in this game. We're very happy about that. Very
No,
excited.
we're not. Techies is the most mesmerizing hero to watch.
Come on.
100%.
You can't be serious.
I
You
can
can't be
playing against it, playing with it, terrible. Watching a techies, having that thrill of hearing seeing the enemies walk close towards the bombs, knowing that they're just about to explode, it is the most exhilarating feeling ever.
You know what? I will just disagree with you, and I think we'll just leave it at that. I think I'll just disagree, and we're just going to be okay with that. What are they doing here on NoPing? They're not really doing much. It looks like they're just going to go for the 2 bounty runes on each team, and then no big spicy fights right at the start of the game, it seems.
Yeah, it looks to be a Quas Wexfoker. Went for Quas immediately at the start, because otherwise he'd go for Exo to get those creep hits in against Analog in that mid lane matchup. But yeah, honestly, for Evoker, it makes a lot of sense this game going Quas Wex. You burn the Mana of the Tide, no Ravage, you can burn the Mana of the TA, plus you also need to have an Urn against the TA to break his Refraction charge. You need the attack speed to deal with the Phoenix, and even to interrupt the Bane as well with the Tornado on his Fiend script. It's just too much value for Quas Wex. And even though I almost always am an advocate for Exort, this is definitely just a Wex game.
So you're actually accepting it.
Well, they don't have
And
any hard
agreeing with it.
lockdown, except for like Spear or Sunstrike.
Yeah, it
so.
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm saying you're actually accepting it this time.
Oh yeah,
And-
but
and
I
being
don't
okay
like
with
it. No, there's a whole different
Okay.
story. I know why he's
Alright.
doing it. I know it's the better choice, but being okay with it is a separate matter.
Okay. All right. Let's leave that for now then. Yeah. Okay. Looking at lanes here. This Invoker versus Puck. Is this Invoker Puck? Is that Invoker or Puck favored in your opinion?
Yeah, I would say
way?
player favored. It can
Right, yeah.
it can go either way very easily.
Ooh, Phoenix is getting a lot of damage top here from this this Weaver. This Weaver's really doing well at harassing this TA and this Phoenix out of lane though. Both of them super low. TA playing a little bit risky here though. Really wants to go for those few last hits. Probably should eat a little bit of a tree now. You know, stay healthy. Oh, salved by Phoenix. No worries, no worries. Oh, and another pause coming in.
Well, Serum does choose to go for the Glaives of Wisdom at the start because it is the only real way to harass the Tidehunter out of the bottom lane. We have ourselves another pause because, well, this is SA Dota and it happens all the time.
It's kind of standard at this point. I don't think I've ever casted a SA Dota game where there was no pause within, you know, like a short amount of time from the start of the game. So it's yeah, it's definitely like a little bit of a tradition. Hope they're all doing well though. I hope you know, kind of assuming it's probably like an internet issue. He is back though, so all good, all good.
So far, no big threatening moves just yet. Top, they got pretty low, but you can just constantly buy regen anyway on the Phoenix. Most important thing on the Phoenix is going to be levels regardless. And I do like the choice of, you know, swapping things around. Theodore on the Bane, though. Bane is definitely a hero that in this game, it's going to be very tough to do anything, considering you will never be... If Serum keeps his ulti available, you'll never be able to get the Phoenix grab. However, speaking of the Bane, Theodore dropping low.
Is he going to die from this? No, not quite. Brain sap just in time. And standing in the trees now to eat that salve to be right back to a good HP amount. Very close though. This silencer is definitely not to be messed with. That damage over time from a silencer in lane is definitely quite scary. They're gonna go for him though. It seems like a little bit of revenge. They're clicking him pretty hard in this tie-down to get the first blood here. Arcane Curse keeps ticking on him though. It's gonna take quite a bit of damage. She's gonna take quite a bit of damage, but ultimately seems to be doing alright. Bane is already out of regen though, so he definitely needs to start shipping some more in to make sure that he and his Tidehunter stay healthy in lane.
Well, Tide has the money for a Ring of Health, so that should not be too problematic to survive. And Theodore can just nom all the HP away from his opponents. And he's got that magic stick with 7 charges added on top, so Theodore will be just fine. Honestly, both of them. Actually, Tide is going for a little bit of a different choice here. Picking up the Helm of the Iron Will, add some extra armor and HP regen, but also probably going to turn that into a Helm of the Dominator later on.
The kill coming in here on this Phoenix by Weaver. Actually, Weaver has been definitely harassing this Phoenix quite well in lane, harassing this TA as well. Looks like TA is reaching a little bit of a point already where she is in a little bit of trouble regarding farm.
It is of course a TA, so you get yourself your level 6. Hopefully there are going to be some stacks at that point and you can easily catch back up to try and sustain your farm in the game. Hansis, Courier Snipe as well, gets rid of Tangos plus a Sentry Ward. Very annoying to deal with, and KJ, he's going to die again on the Phoenix. Icarus dive back. Hansis doesn't have the mana for Ishiguchi, but the buggers do enough work to take down KJ, who now doesn't have another TP for quite some time, putting RDO in a very tough spot.
RDO still has quite a little bit of HP, so seems to be kind of okay here, still staying in lane and taking those last hits. But with the Phoenix gone, it is becoming a little bit more dangerous. Phoenix obviously died a little bit too fast there and does not have a TP to go back to lane, so it's a little bit of a walk of shame for this Firebird here in the top lane.
Luckily enough, Weaver has rotated away, trying to snipe a courier in mid. He's just going to set aside towards the tier 2 tower and get that quicker respawn towards the lane. Picks up all of his items in the process. It's unsurprising. I actually saw Spartan from Prime today. He was full HP, full mana, and he suicided towards the enemy's tier 1 tower, just so that he could TP in fast enough and get his safe lane as more regens. Speaking of a safe lane, RDO.
Yay.
Yep.
A little bit in trouble here. Pinned to the tree there and completely lost. Phoenix was not there. And that's just too much damage coming in. That's another kill on Weaver. Weaver going 3-1 actually right now. Leading the stats there on kills.
But the most important thing is something that you need to check right now. Sparks.
Yes.
Sexy Fat, the new mid laner for APU King of Kings, is going first game with the new team for a Mars Meteor Hammer. A meme hammer Mars on your first game with your new squad.
I think that is some big brain plays. I love to see that. They're really going for this TA here now. The Silencer, Weaver, and Mars, pinning her against the tree, silencing her. And are they going to be able to get her? No, Puck comes in. TA does die for this, though. Phoenix is going to go down. Puck is here now by himself. Desperately trying to get maybe one kill out of this, getting the silence on Silencer, but Silencer just runs away. And Puck dies for this as well. That is 3 people dead on the side of NoPing. A really unfortunate TP there. Bane comes in though, gets that kill still on this Silencer. And he's gonna just run away with the haste there. Sneakily getting that 1 kill and running away.
Well, the big plus there is at least the Puck didn't lose int to the Silencer, but he did get himself 4 int in the process on that rotation, and it's looking pretty rough for NoPing. They're even sending RDO towards the mid lane to try and catch up, but Mini, he's level 7. It's a pretty scary situation. EMP comes out, he's got that urn as well, and the TA is dropping low. Can they get the kill onto RDO? Because that gives you more charges to go more ham, and indeed, RDO dies again. That's his 3rd death already. This TA is struggling.
Bane, meanwhile, dies as well in the backline to this Weaver. They are just following this TA around the map, just making sure that she cannot get the farm that she needs. Meanwhile, she has died now already 3 times in 7 minutes. That's quite a lot.
That's definitely not the greatest of starts. Monster does have his Helm of the Dominator now finished up as well. It is a great item. I do love the Helm of the Dom. It was a big favorite on Tidehunters for about a month or so this batch, but it's definitely fallen off for quite some time.
Why do you think it's fallen off?
I don't know. I really like the item. It's just no one wants to pick it up anymore. Actually, Analog, he can't get the jump with his Illusory Orb, and another one added in the bag for APU King of Kings, looking very bad for NoPing. Except for Monster, he's just chilling.
Except for him, he's fine. Yeah, it's definitely not looking too hot. But yeah, Monster is just kind of hanging out here with this Wraith King, clicking the tower a little bit and being fine. Phoenix, meanwhile, died top here to a Mars Arena. That's another one dead.
With Meteor Hammer used. It seemed.
Oh yeah, of course. He's had. Oh god, he hasn't finished. Right? Yeah. I love to see that.
Meteor Hammer and Soul Ring. That's a lot of mana regen that he's going for though. Towards mid, Theolagor gonna get taken down. They did find Serum beforehand, so he will not be able to yoink that int. But regardless, they find the trade, they take the tower, and they're about to take the top tier 1 tower as well if they're not careful. Though, it feels like the net worth advantage should be a lot higher.
It really does, yeah. It feels like they're dominating much more than the net worth advantage says, but that's a mid tower down at like 8-ish minutes. That's really, really good. The Tidehunter, meanwhile, coming into the triangle, sees 2 heroes there. I don't think he's gonna quite die for this, though. Not quite. This Weaver is just having the time of his life. He's just running around everywhere. Fearlessly, might I add. This man is very much fearless. He sees his Bane, spots him, scouts him out here, and just, you know, becomes the eyes for his team a little bit.
This Weaver is 6-1-4, but also went for boots for power treads. I don't think I've seen a Weaver with boots in like the last 20 Weaver games.
Yeah, it seems like he's just taking a lot of advantage of that, you know, big farm that he got by farming all those heroes, and looks like he's just gonna be clicking a bit harder than maybe anticipated.
It's actually not that bad of an item because you can tread swap the entire time on Weaver. Get you the
Bane
Shikuchi going.
Bane gonna die again. He is, with a spear coming in as a last hit by this Mars. That's yeah.
Looking rough. Monster trying to push out the tier 1 tower towards bottom lane. They need a heavy rotation to get rid of the tide. Did choose to go for the Alpha Wolf, aka get that buff on top of him, instead of going for the Centaur.
Yay! Oh, not again. Is she gonna die for this again? And yes, she absolutely is. TA is getting hunted absolutely mercilessly by APU King of Kings.
Well, Benny knows exactly what's coming, is already trying to hide, but the puck's on his heels. There's no TP available. They've got the Ravage if necessary. They've got the Centaur with the Stomp, and that is going to be Benny's first life. Second one should be an easy pickup as well. Silence Ulti gets used, though. He's going to go for the TP. And, oh, that Silencer move was perfect on the mark. Making sure they won't be able to control the Wraith King a second time.
Absolutely well played. Meanwhile, there's Mars here in the top lane with his Meteor Hammer, getting that damage in on the tier 2 tower at 11 minutes. And TA has been scouted out again by this Invoker, by this Weaver on the mid lane. Seems like they want to do their own, you know, their old trick again. Finding that TA and killing her again. But Bane is here as well.
Dire's top tower is about to be Radiant's top.
Doesn't seem like they'll be able to do that.
I mean, the big struggle is the fact that Analog also barely has any farm on the puck. Monster's gonna get jumped. He has the Ravage available. He's got level 3 Kraken Shell. He's very tanky. So he'll just be able to walk away for the time being. Will they continue the chase? Monster dropping low. Ravage is a possibility, but they're doing damage, not finding kills. But it does mean that they're constantly threatening for a finisher here on the side of APU King of Kings, which might just happen in the bottom lane. RDO in his meld, trying to use KJ as distraction so RDO can walk away. That is just a sacrifice for the greater good.
Courier kill there, love to see that. What I'm kind of interested in is this Tidehunter is not going Blink Dagger, he's going Vlad's straight after his Helm of the Dominator. Why do you think he's not going Blink Dagger?
Because he wants to get the Helm of the Overlord instead, which, you know, the Blink Dagger is great and all. I mean, to be fair, yes, you can definitely call for both, but Helm of the Overlord, that big creep is hard to kill for the APU King of Kings side. They need to really send the Wraith King to finish off, you know, an Ancient Granite Golem or the Ancient Black Dragon. They are very survivable, and the auras in general always nice to have. Though I definitely think that if you're not careful enough and RDO keeps getting jumped, you might want to get that quicker blink. Because he still hasn't blown his Ravage.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. The Blink Dagger can definitely come in handy here, you know, to maybe to save his carry there when the carry is caught in an uncomfortable position again. Which seems to happen quite a lot. It does seem that RDO, the last few minutes, hasn't been caught out yet, and maybe has kind of stuck to farming in a little bit of a safer area now.
Yeah, they give, of course, the triangle plus bottom lane towards RDO. It took quite some time until they decided to swap it around because the Tide just needs to farm in a different area. Preferably should go for a fight here. Benny's going to get controlled. Doesn't have his reincarnation just yet. But they're going to go in on towards Monster. Push him all the way back towards Benny. He does blow his Ravage finally. Dream Coil is available as well. Holding back both the cores. The Monster's trying to walk away. Meteor Hammer's not going to be able to land just yet. Silence Ulti gets used. Monster is dropping low. But the big smack gives him a lot of HP in the process. They're still finding the Weaver on the side. They find the kill. Phoenix Egg gets dropped. Do they have the attack speed? Yes, with the Electric buff, they should be enough. They find the Phoenix Egg, but the Wraith King will be coming back alive. Theolacor on the run. Analog chased down by Sexy Fat. Sunstrike not going to be able to connect, but Analog still needs to be very careful. Is he even going to get silenced up?
Oh, saving his W and getting that kill. That was crazy. That was so incredibly clutch there. Almost dead on the side of APU King of Kings, so low HP, but just managing to turn that around and just getting all those kills. Phoenix, top tower, is going to be trying to protect it a little bit, but it's not going to be able to.
Oh, so Monster's going to attempt the same. TP's in and he loses his mana. They're looking for a fight. Benny does not have reincarnation. They know that that's the case, and Serum is going to be caught on the Silencer. If they manage to kill off Serum, Fiend's Grip from Theolacor, it's a bit tougher to interrupt it, but they are huddled up completely. Nightmare holds Sexy Fat back. They're trying to Make sure it turns around. Meteor Hammer. Is it going to land? Yes, it interrupts the Fiend's Grip. However, regardless, they are still going to lose Mini. And it looks like Sexy Fat's going to be another one down for the count. He tried his best. A very nice and admirable attempt. However, it's still going to be that triple secured for NoPing. And that's a very good recovery for the Dire side.
Absolutely. I mean, I thought that Meteor Hammer was really, really well placed and well timed, though. That could have gone very, very differently. But well played for NoPing. It's definitely something that they needed.
Well, the Weaver, what's he going for? He's going for a BKB. Okay, it seems this is just a core Weaver at this point, which... I mean, no, I prefer him just getting support items. It's not my favorite thing to see. I saw like an Orchid Ayaskadi Weaver a couple of days ago. That one was very weird. I can't even remember who did that, but that one was just strange.
If it works, it works, right?
Oh no, they lost.
Oh, it didn't work. Alright, cool. If it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. Absolutely. Meanwhile, let's have a look at the net worth. Currently, Wraith King leading in net worth. Closely followed by Tidehunter, though. Tidehunter has highest net worth on the team on NoPing. He also definitely had the best lane, though, looking at the start of the game. He seemed to be the one that was the least interrupted one out of the whole team.
Yeah, it's a tough affair, though there's not much difference between the cores on both sides. The main monetary difference is just Hanses on the Weaver, who is very farmed. And for the rest, it's fairly close between both angles. So, NoPing, you know, it's they're 3k behind, but it doesn't feel like 3k, especially considering their heroes and their team fight potential compared to the APU King of Kings' threat version. And both the TA and Wraith King immediately at the same time finish up their Deso.
Good timing. There was a few Roshan checks there from the side of NoPing as well as the side of APU King of Kings. Looks like both of them thought that the other would probably be wanting to do Rosh. Oh, that was a Fiend's Grip here on this Weaver, but the Silencer ult coming in to save his buddy there with nothing happening and 2 ults down.
Theolokora going very deep to try and kill off the courier. However, Benny is going to catch him. Hans is joining in. Theolokora dropping low. Can they keep him alive? Sunstrike on top. Soak it. Oh, KJ, that is so heads up. It's unreal. Shikuchi, though, from the side. Hanses trying to get close. But yeah, KJ with the... I mean, that was just a big play. Standing on top of a Sunstrike target, of course, spreads the damage of Sunstrike between multiple enemies. So he made sure that the Weaver did not take the Bane did not take the entire smack.
That was definitely very well played. And the quick brain stab coming in as well. Healing himself up a little bit here. And a salve coming in from this Phoenix as well. Healing Bane up all the way. And NoPing right now looking to do Roshan. The rest of the enemy team is up, but it doesn't really look like they've scouted out, or have they?
It seems they don't know on the side of APU King of Kings. And this would be a very big pickup.
It looks like it's going to be uninterrupted. This Mars is just farming jungle as well as Wraith King. Silence is close to the pit though, but hasn't quite caught on to what's going on in there. And it looks like a free Roshan. Yeah, absolutely free Roshan for this TA.
Well, mainly denying it for your enemies is always a plus. The fact that they managed to steal it right underneath the APU King of Kings' noses is pretty impressive, considering the position of the 2 observer wards on that Radiant side. Look at the vision they got, and somehow they just barely circumvent it because they didn't actually have vision of the entrance.
Yeah, it was quite an interesting Roche attempt. I would kind of think that APU King of Kings had a little bit of an idea about it, but they were just kind of happily farming along and not really paying attention to it.
Well, Analog hasn't leveled his talents just yet. Is going for the Blink Dagger next. Most likely just going for the magical damage puck. Which, obviously, he's playing with the physical damage TA, so not really a necessity to go for physical damage yourself. Sexy Fat looking for a catch. Could find the puck, but yeah, they don't necessarily know where the entirety of NoPing is. And that is a big threat, especially considering Theolokor is top next to Hans's. Gets himself the Nightmare in. Fiend's Grip is available, but Silencer ulti gets used to keep the Weaver alive, but again, a just gigantic cooldown used. And it's just to, it's just to keep the Weaver alive. It's a 4 position. If they force out a good fight here on the side of NoPing, you're still in trouble.
I mean, is it a 4 position though?
Whatever
You know
happens.
what I mean?
He's gonna have his BKB, but what does he do at the fight then? He Shikuchi's around and that's about it. Sexy Fat, however, does find himself a kill. Also has a Yule Scepter. Blink Yule's Meteor Hammer on a Mars. That is an interesting build-up.
That's a very annoying build to play against, definitely for this puck as well. Yeah, I mean, Tidehunter is finally going to go for this this Blink Dagger, about 400-ish gold off of it, so that's going to be a really good item timing there. It's going to do a lot for NoPing, and the Aegis is still up for about 3 minutes on this TA. And TA is definitely climbing in net worth now. She is the 3rd highest net worth in the game, highest net worth of her team. So she, despite the rough start, she is climbing up to a decently good position now on the net worth chart.
Don't look good.
A smoke rotation coming out from APU King of Kings as well. TP bottom lane again by Analog. Needs to be very careful not to jump in too aggressively. Immediately blinks to the side. Doesn't want to have to deal with his opponents whatsoever. Mini gets scanned out, but no fights coming in just yet. They're just using this Aegis for the time being as a farming tool on NoPing. Or are they just going to smoke? Yeah, they do have 3 smokes available.
There they go.
Feeling the love.
And
a 4-man smoke.
I think they spotted it. Yeah, Serum was gonna die, but I think Monster was under ward vision the moment they smoked. So it was not really a surprise.
Still, Silencer dead though, but Silence didn't even have global silence, so I mean, what? You know, yeah. It's definitely a pick off, but you know, it's something, and it's definitely gonna get them this mid tower now at 22 minutes. So finally, mid tower down. Means that they're going to be able to control a little bit more of this game, of this map, which is looking pretty good for them right now, actually.
Sexy Fat.
TA.
Theolokor trying to stay alive. Actually, is going to die somehow. Manages to get taken down. It was a 3-on-1 against Sexy Fat, and he still finds a kill on Theolokor before he dies. That is, that's pretty impressive. That's a lot of damage.
Meanwhile, this TA in the enemy jungle, though, got that first kill here on Wraith King, so Reincarnation has been used. It's only level 2, so it still has more than 100-second cooldown. Not sure if they're going to be able to find him again before that cooldown is up, but that would definitely be very good for them if they do.
I do like the choice of the buck just going for an Ags, knowing the immense use of that tool this game. It's not necessarily like they have the most mobile heroes on the side of APU King of Kings, but they're definitely BKB. I mean, Weaver's got the BKB done. Voker's got it. Wraith King is going for it next. So you can pretty much keep them occupied without the moves. Even the Mars is going for one. That's 4 BKBs that they're building on the side of APU. And you're going to have that Dream Call to deny any moves from all 4 of those.
I do like to see that Aghanims on Puck that you were talking about. I didn't quite realize what the Aghanims was because I don't really play Puck, but seems like it's just an insanely good pickup, and it's going to make Dream Coil so much stronger here. And there's a fight breaking out here versus this Tidehunter getting caught out here using Ravage as well. Phoenix is there though. Phoenix is there to heal him up as well. And Puck is in, and Puck is also out again. Silencer ult coming in this time. And a kill coming in here on this Puck, kill coming in on this Silencer as well as 1-for-1. Bane dying here as well. Just so many things going on now. Ravage has already been used, and this Tidehunter is in a little bit of a pickle here, and he is going to go down as well as 3 people down on NoPing, 1 person down on the side of APU King of Kings. Yeah, just definitely losing Puck there is not great for them. Luckily, TA is still up though. TA is still going to be able to keep farming. But a little bit of an unfortunate situation there.
And the Ravage got blown, but it was pretty much too far away to really use the fact that the Ravage was blown because they couldn't get any connections going whatsoever. Top lane tried to get some pushing damage in. Sexy Fat used the Meteor Hammer. It still tickles a little bit more afterwards, but So far, Sexy Fat's had a very solid performance on the Mars in his first game with APU King of Kings. But yeah, you really need that Ravage to combo with the Phoenix Egg so that you at least have the Phoenix Egg go off.
Yeah, I felt like the Ravage was a little bit of a panic situation, a little bit of a, oh no, I need to get out situation. Not quite being able to chain it with any other meaningful spells there. So slightly unfortunate. This Wraith King is still just doing really well with his farm. Obviously, Wraith King is just a hero that is definitely very good at farming, you know, with his skeletons and everything going on. So it's quite likely that he's going to stay at the top of this chart for a while.
Well, one bad team fight could, of course, turn it around. Both sides really dependent on heavy, long duration cooldowns, though, which is a little bit problematic. As the Weaver ulti, the Silencer ulti especially, is a necessity for APU King of Kings. Whereas NoPing, they really, like, every time they have a team fight, they have to have a very long cooldown before they can take another engagement. And that's a big plus for APU King of Kings. They can roam around a lot more freely in that duration.
Meanwhile, let's have a look at some of the items that are being picked up. Silver Edge, quite close to Silver Edge here on this Wraith King. Let's have a look. Which heroes on the side of NoPing have a passive that can be broken? Is that a lot of them?
Tide, TA.
Tide and TA, it seems, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's, I mean, definitely good on that Tide.
But in general, it's always a staple item. You adding crit on a hero that it does have an 8 crit, but it is on a 4-second cooldown. Will, of course, later turn it into a 2-second cooldown. And just Shadow Blade / Silver Edge, always nice. Because that's one of the problems with Wraith King, is really getting on top of his opponents. And now you can just lurk through the shadow, forces the enemy supports to always carry invis detection, making it a lot tougher for them because you need to swap out items in and out. So, I always like a Silver Edge.
No, I definitely agree, and I think the combination Blink Dagger and Silver Edge is going to give this Wraith King quite a jumping advantage, quite an advantage on getting on top of this TA, for example. So definitely a good pickup.
This Weaver is actually going for a Chrysalis right now.
Oh my god.
If this was in my pubs,
he'd
get reported every single game.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely, and I would as well. I mean, it's there's a little more annoying than a position 4 building as if he's a big-time core player. But to be honest, I mean, this Weaver did get a lot of kills at the start of the game, though. He's still top of the kill chart right now. With he's going 9, 2, and 8. So I mean, he does have that money, you know. Might as well try to click a little bit harder. I can't really blame him in a way, you know. I know you can.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely can. If they're gonna win the game, of course, it's, you know, look, it worked, blah blah blah. But I'm not necessarily the biggest of fans. I do love a good Aghanim Scepter on Weaver, especially.
I agree with that. Yeah.
In this patch,
he has a shard on the Weaver as well.
It's really good against the TA this game, and always nice against the Tide, regardless.
Yeah. I'd like to see that pickup, but yeah, Aghanim's definitely very good to be able to save your teammates a little bit more when they're in a pickle, to make Weaver really kind of, you know, into a support hero, being able to save your teammates. But yeah, this Weaver's priorities are a little bit different. Kind of assuming that this is probably a thing that they have talked about, and it's not something, you know, like in a lot of pubs that comes straight out of nowhere, where you're assuming that the Weaver's going to support, but he's not. Kind of assuming this is part of their tactic here. Smoke coming in as well. APU King of Kings really wanting to continue this lead that they still have, but the lead that is starting to become maybe a little bit less in a way.
Smoke on smoke.
Double smoke here.
Walking up the high ground. This could be, ring around the rosy, dodging each other completely. Pluses, the Mars has BKB. Minus is that there is, of course, oh my god, Sam gets immediately annihilated. The arena holds 2 in place, but it doesn't do too much. That Dream Coil, though, it is a BKB. Piercing Dream Coil with the Ag, so they are held in place. The Phoenix Egg nearby, but just too far away to right-click it away. That's going to be the stun onto 2. Ravage gets blown perfectly timed by Monster. Coming through, trying to get the catch onto Sexy Fat. He's got that Shard Spear, holds them in place. disengaging. Benny is being kited in the process. He's been held out of the fight for the most part. Hans is dropping low. Silence stop. Hans is taken down thanks to the shard from the TA. In the meantime, Nightmare save onto RDO. He's trying to disengage, but the spear is going to hold him in place. And now the cooldowns have pretty much all been expended on NoPing, and they just need to disengage. Monster's actually being blocked by his own creep. And he's trying to get away. KJ does have a heal in case it's needed. Analog's nearby as well. Almost has that Dream Coil available again. Jumping on the backline, trying to get the damage in. Silence Ulti getting used. But the puck, can he disengage? No blink just yet. And this is a problem because he's going to get speared. Analog's going to get smacked. And in the end, a big fight for APU King of Kings, which started off very poorly. They'll even manage to get themselves all 5 dead.
My. This Wraith King is out of control, and that was a dieback as well on Bane. Really wanting to make a little bit of a difference there, but just dying in the process, dying twice. And now they are hitting that tier 3 here on the high ground with Alacrity coming in on this Wraith King. Look at how fast this man clicks. Highest net worth, triple kill just now. Absolutely crazy. And now just getting out, definitely very much in time. None of them are still up, but they really want to get this Roshan now. And they're probably going to be able to take it. There's no Ravage up on this Tidehunter, and he's still down for a little bit. Major ults are out. Looks like this might be a little bit of a free Roshan here for APU King of Kings. Going on this Invoker.
It's well, of course, Wraith King has 2 lives. You do tend to see some people, of course, giving it towards Wraith King, but he already used his buyback on Invoker, so they'll make sure that he does not get completely deleted in the next team fight. We'll be able to rejoin. I do like the fact that Invoker's going to go for, of course, the Shiva's Guard. Anti-healing, always nice against the Phoenix, and the attack speed reduction plus armor. Very useful against both the TA and the Tidehunter in this game. They had a very decent fight here on NoPing, but at one point they just ran out of cooldowns and the fight was over. Speaking of which, Benny jumps in, going for Monster. Doesn't have the Silver Edge for a couple of seconds. Monster taking some damage, but pops the BKB, walks away. They lost the Weaver on the side, and they want to re-aggress. They've got that Dream Coil. Ravage get blown onto 2, controlling it up. Voker's going to lose his first life. They still have the Dream Coil available on Analog. Silence Ulti getting used. Analog pretty quickly getting rid of it. The Dream Coil coming out, holding them in place. Wraith King's first life is gone. The Phoenix Egg, do they manage to take it down? Yes, indeed. They just barely get it in time. Analog is being stunned. Jumps to the side. And will be trying to disengage in the process. Has a blink, but is going to, get clipped by the tornado. Sunstrike's not going to connect. Silence comes off. Yul's up in the process. Can go for the phase shift, disengage. He's just playing with them as much as possible, but at the end, it is going to be his death regardless.
Benny, again, this Benny, this Wraith King is doing so incredibly well. We were looking at Weaver before with this 11-5-11. This Wraith King, meanwhile, is going 10-0-3. This Wraith King has not died a single time. He's been farming this whole time, top of net worth charts, and just getting so many kills these past, like, 5-6 minutes. Absolutely securing that advantage. 14k gold advantage now for APU King of Kings at 34 minutes. Looks like this might be a game that is going to go to APU King of Kings after all.
Well, there's still a heavy team fight available. Cooldowns. The problem is the cooldowns are, well, still busy being taken care of in the process. TP comes out. Monster jumps in aggressively. He can frontline a bit, but definitely does have to be careful considering there's a break on Benny. But Monster is going to make sure that at least the racks do not get secured just yet. I mean, 14k in 34 minutes, it's not the best, it's not the worst. The arena catches KJ. The Phoenix went a little bit too deep. Nightmare save attempt. Phoenix grip holds Benny in place. That's going to be the Wraith King's first life. Buyback immediately by the Phoenix. Can they get the control? Benny's just going to jump away. I mean, they really do need to disengage on the side of APU because Phoenix Egg, Dream Coil, the spells are coming back up and you don't want to accidentally throw away your advantage.
Yeah, absolutely. Kind of crazy there, you know, this, I don't know, like, NoPing, It didn't look so good, then it looked a little bit better for them, and now it's still not looking so hot. They really need to start making moves, which is definitely what they are planning on doing right now with the smoke coming in. Looks like they are going to want to get the jump now on APU King of Kings and see if they can turn that big advantage for APU King of Kings around in their favor. And they're going to be finding Weaver. Sort of, but they find Mars instead, just jumping in right there. Mars BKB though, Mars is going to be able to walk out. No, he's not. He's get leashed by this puck as well. Silence coming in though. Mars is still alive. He puts his arena up as well. He's still doing okay. He's still alive, but Ravage coming in, killing him once and for all. Silencer dead as well, and that's the first life of Wraith King going down here. Phoenix X successfully popped, but oh my god, that TA dies here. Tidehunter dies here. Phoenix very, very close to dying, and this puck is just trying to get out now. Only survivor left of NoPing Esports. Is he going to be able to get out? It seems so far that he is going to be able to get out. That was very unfortunate. NoPing was really trying to make a move there. Really trying to, you know, just take that advantage maybe for a little while, but it just wasn't in the cards for them. And APU King of Kings now even further ahead than they were before.
I know that fight went wrong because of one very problematic move, and that is didn't want to use the Dream Coil on the Mars, so the Mars walked away, then got underneath the their high ground vision, then refreshed, got the arena down, popped his BKB again. Actually, Voka's just going to straight up die. Analog will be most likely caught out as well. Can he jump to disengage on the high ground? Should be able to jump. And Analog actually gets away with just killing a free Voka who's dead for 115 seconds.
That was really well played on this Bane as well with his Nightmare. That was well played on all of them there. Nothing quite lost yet for NoPing Esports.
It is looking problematic. I do think Analog, you know, might want to use his ulti a little bit faster sometimes. Especially because he does have a bit of cooldown reduction, 70 seconds. Just make sure that you secure the kills regardless. But Benny is very farmed currently, going for the BKB next on the Wraith King. Very late BKB. Did he? I thought he had a BKB
before. No, he went everything else before BKB, which I mean it's kind of worked out for him. Has he died?
Well, he's died,
no,
but he hasn't died.
No, he hasn't died. He's died, but not die. So that's really good, actually.
What is... He's actually went for the reincarnation cast Wraith Fire Blast talent? That has been a long time since I've seen that one. Oh, the double damage yoinked by the Weaver, shikuching away. But they won't be able to catch/hold him in place. That would have actually been a pretty good kill because the Weaver does not have a buyback either, and that would be a dieback.
NoPing farming up a little bit. Wraith King still at the top of the net worth charts as expected. He's 6k ahead of this TA, but TA is still, you know, it's not too great, but not doing too bad either.
Well, RDO's got the silver edge himself for the break against the Mars, and yeah, that's about it. It's a decent item, of course. It does give you a bit more mobility to try and run away, forces the enemies to have invis detection. Then again, Weaver's Swarm Latch destroys you for the most part. I would have liked to see RDO get himself the Ags just so that he can do a lot more split push shenanigans and try and keep those waves pushed out constantly. Because he does have the Shard currently, which is, first of all, great. But if you get a jump with the TP on, for instance, the Silencer, you two-shot him.
Yeah, it's, the Aghanim seems just so incredibly strong on TA, actually. Like, it's kind of crazy, the whole TP thing. I mean, yeah, it does definitely seem like a solid pickup here. There's a smoke coming in, by the way, on the side of NoPing. Another smoke from them, another kind of attempt to turn this game around to get maybe some pickoffs. However, APU King of Kings seems to be anticipating this, and they are all sticking together, and they know something is up.
Yeah, they spotted the illusory orb coming out. They know exactly that NoPing's on in their own jungle. Roshan is up in about 2 minutes, and not much is going to happen with the smoke because NoPing were hoping that they'd fight on their own high ground. And get the side of APU King of Kings walking out without, you know, checking every angle first. Mars almost level 25. Not that Refresh is going for the overwhelming blink as well, but one big pickup is the Phoenix is level 18. So he's got his level 3 Supernova. And that is so many of these fights. He gets the egg close enough, but just a little bit too close that they barely manage to finish it off. If he gets that big 3-second stun going off in the team fight, that could turn everything around.
Absolutely, and yeah, it's 2 extra clicks now to destroy that egg, which might just be what he needs. However, this Wraith King, though, with Alacrity on him is definitely insane. They just gotta make sure that he is not able to hit that egg when it happens.
Well, a minute until third Roshan, which of course is going to be either a nice free Aghanim Scepter or a nice free Refresher. Honestly, NoPing would love both. Both sides definitely would love both, because the Silencer with double global silence is also going to be a big threat. It's actually going for the Aghanim Scepter for that AoE last word, which is... okay, it's actually pretty decent this game to have the AoE last word, though most of the time if you get that close towards your opponents you die in a second, because they keep making Serum the first target to take down. But if you get towards level 25 last word mutes, you know, things could get a little bit more interesting on that spell.
Definitely looks like that's kind of what he is anticipating for sure. I mean, looking at the other one, plays with some damage, I'm kind of thinking this Silencer is not going to be the clicking type here.
Oh, Roche is up in 5 seconds. There is a trap in the pit, and of course, actually the Fokker just missed it, but they did smoke on the side of APU King of Kings. Gonna roam around, see if they can catch NoPing. Do they have another smoke on the Dire side? It seems they still have one available onto KJ, but the problem is Monster's walking away from his team, so if they engage right now, there's not going to be a Ravage available for a team fight.
Bane getting caught out here by this Wraith King and just clicking in 3 hits now. BKB coming in on this Mars, but double Yules here on this Phoenix. Is he going to be able to get out? No, he's silenced. They're going to be able to fly out over there. Weaver clicking him to death here. They're chasing after the rest of them. They're going to be able to find Puck. Puck is just here to silence and to get out, and is able to do that. 2 buybacks as well. Buyback on Bane and buyback on Phoenix. They really seem to want to be able to stop this Roche at them, maybe? Are they even aware of it? Do they even know? They did smoke, though. It seems like they probably know that they're going to be trying Roshan. Are they going to be able to get there in time, though? Ravage is up. Blink Dagger is up on this Tidehunter. Are they
He's got the Refresher.
So right in time?
Ravage gets blown. Refresher. Ravage again. No! It's going to be snatched by the Puck in the process. Monster waiting with the Ravage. Gets the blow up. Takes down the Weaver. Looking for more. Sexy Fats being right-clicked on the side. Misses his spear completely. Benny does pop the Aegis, but Benny's going to lose his first life in the process as well. Are they going to be able to get the full control going on? Cheese was still available to be secured. It is on the Puck right now, trying to disengage. RDO, he's going to be controlled as well, and that is going to be a couple killed with the Puck in the pit. Why is the Puck in the pit? Well, he's in the pit to get rid of Hanses, which is going to be a dieback. Still trying to disengage, but this time the Puck will not be able to escape. They do have buybacks available on the side of NoPing, but I think someone grabbed... yes, the Wraith King has the Ag's Blessing picked up from Roche that he can gift towards one of his allies.
That was intense. That was so many buybacks, and still... you know, even with the double Ravage, APU King of Kings came out ahead. Even with that Aegis Snatch on Puck, still APU King of Kings is coming out ahead, and it just really looks like they're gonna be winning this one. Buyback though on Puck. There's also still a buyback left on this TA. Seems like they're gonna be taking it safe on APU King of Kings. Only 1 hit left on that range barrack up top there. But I think that the skeletons are going to be able to take it. They will. They're going to chase them into Fountain here. BKB popped now on this Tidehunt. He's going to try to be able to run out, and he will be. BKB popped on this Mars as well, pinning this TA to their own Ancient. Puck jumping in as well. Meteor Hammer channeled, and Puck is just going to die from this absolutely insane Wraith King. The damage that he's dealing right now, he is unstoppable here. Absolutely unstoppable. Godlike kill streak. Clicking this Tidehunter, and they're gonna be able to finish him here. That is 5 people dead on the side of NoPing. There's no buybacks. GG has been called. And that is map 1 going to APU King of Kings.
Yeah, that was a lot of these what-if fights for NoPing. So close multiple times to try and get the advantage in their favor. But APU King of Kings, they just looked better. And the Weaver was amazing because his item build was perfect. But regardless, it was a very solid performance from everyone. Silence even, you know, for good measure, deleting all of his items in the process at the end. Because, you know,
he did.
gotta spread out that toxicity.
Oh.
For that nice ending feed, but it is APU King of Kings with the win in this best of 2. There's, of course, one more game to be played. We'll be going towards a short break until that match starts, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. More Dota to be witnessed. The last game of the evening, APU King of Kings versus NoPing. My name is Dktruman. I'm once again joined by Sparks. And, well, could you give us a quick recap of what happened in the first game?
Yeah, absolutely. APU King of Kings coming out very strongly, just kind of taking the lead right away. NoPing had a few moments where they were trying to get everything back. They were trying to get back a lead or something. Never really quite succeeded at it. There were some moments where I thought that they could maybe get a little bit of an advantage, but they really never really did. So APU King of Kings had a very convincing victory there.
And, well, as everyone can see right now, game number 2. And the draft so far is very similar in the first 4 picks. So, most likely the same players going to play the same heroes as well from both sides. Not too surprising in that regard. But, well, the Voker and Weaver did play excellently on the APU King of Kings. I think the Voker even mini only died 3 times that entire game, which is pretty well done for Voker against such an aggressive lineup. And another Bane pickup. Okay, let's just stick to the entire same draft.
Yeah, it's really starting to look like that. There's a few things that have been banned, though. Silencer has been banned. That's the only... And Wraith King, of course, has been banned. They really don't want to deal with that again. But yeah, so far it's the same lineup. Really curious to see if that Weaver is gonna go that, you know... questionable +4 build that does work. Again, I don't know if I like to see that. I saw that people in chat were very, kind of happy about it, or at least laughing about it for a little bit. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see if this Weaver manages to get as much of a lead at the start of the game as last time.
And one thing that, of course, is a very nice move for NoPing is that Silencer gets banned out, which was a very big problem for the Bane, especially considering they made it a position 4 Bane, which, first of all, doesn't farm that well. Second of all, yeah, it doesn't farm that well. It's a Bane. It's, you know, the shard slightly makes it faster, but you also don't really want to build a shard regardless. APU King of Kings are going to pick up the tide. Very good, of course, against both the Bane and sort of against the Phoenix. Like, you don't really care that much about the Phoenix's damage, but you can't really deal with the Phoenix Egg. However, you know, that's what you've got the Voker Weaver for again.
Yeah, I like that they saw the Tidehunter in the enemy team. They thought, we need that one this time. No Mars this time, but just let's lock in this Tidehunter unit, who is just a very strong offlaner. And then Disruptor coming in as well. Disruptor Weaver, I kind of assume, is the support duo here, with Disruptor giving a little bit more control than the previous pickup of Silencer. So I do like to see that Disruptor.
Disruptor is always a solid hero, especially with the Tide. He ravages, you said, everything up immediately. They do have a couple of tools against Disruptor. You can dodge it by the Puck's phase shift, for instance, and the Phoenix could drop an egg if necessary to try and stay out of the Static Storm Kinetic Field drag back. So the Razor choice here for NoPing, that means you're probably going to lane a Phoenix Razor together. Tide is very bad against Razor. Weaver doesn't really care that much, but Tide should have a pretty tough lane if RDO has a slightly better performance compared to last game, because, well, to be fair, his TA was absolutely annihilated.
Yeah, absolutely stomped in so many ways during that game. Razor, I think, is an interesting pickup. Definitely means that APU King of Kings cannot go for one of those, melee carries that doesn't have a lot of escape or a lot of movement. So I'm kind of assuming that APU King of Kings is going to be wanting to pick up a position 1 that is a little bit more movable and is able to get out of reach of that Razor W here. At least that is kind of what I'm assuming here.
That's highly likely that they'll go that route. You could also just try and completely ignore it, but that's most of the time going to be a very big problem on your end, though there are plenty of heroes still available. Again, I'm just saying it's never a problem if you decide to go for a PL. I love a good PL game, though.
Again, here again, like, maybe PL this time. Maybe he'll be picked up this time. Yeah, I mean, potentially. What about PA? Would PA work in something like this? With the jump away, or would that not be strong enough versus the other heroes?
The problem with PA is the fact that they do, like, static link is first of all annoying, but then you also get Dream Coiled or Fiend's Gripped. You have some decent attack speed for the Phoenix Egg, but most of the time you don't want to hit the Phoenix Egg at all. So when there's a big team fight coming out, and okay, let's say the Puck has his BKB finished at that moment, when the Puck finishes, the Aghanim Scepter, and you Dream Coil him, Razor can just steal all your damage away the entire time. It is a very, like, normally PA against Razor, sure, you can handle that, but the moment that you add in, like, so much control that pierces BKB, it becomes a lot tougher.
Absolutely. What is a hero that you think would be good here?
You can always just go, you know, Luna, for instance, or I like Luna, PL, as I mentioned.
PL.
I love a good Ricky game, but no one ever plays Ricky anymore, so that's most likely out of the question.
That's a bit of a shame, though, in my opinion. I think Ricky is a really fun hero to play and a really fun hero to watch. I think a lot of people might not agree with me. But,
I don't agree with you.
I think Ricky is great, honestly.
I to a degree, but any hero that has innate invisibility in their kit is very annoying for support players, and Ricky is always invis, so that's even worse. Because he then gets Manta style and whatnot, and he costs you such a fortune on just invis detection. For the most part, APU King of Kings have very little reserve time left, so they really need to make sure that their last pick is already in the back of their minds, depending on what NoPing, of course, are going to ban out. They might just get rid of whatever safe lane APU want to go for. To be fair, they could even go for the Weaver safe lane. It's not that bad for the most part, though you don't really see Weaver's safe lanes anymore whatsoever.
No, I was gonna say, it's really only been picked up as 4, right, recently?
Yeah, I mean, I think I've seen one about a month ago, but yeah, that's about a month ago playing safely Weaver.
While.
TB could also not be too bad for APU King of Kings. Could send his illusions out to kill the Razor. It's hard to find the real TB to Fiend's Grip, and you need a lot of control. Like, he has good attack speed. You add an electricity buff on him. He goes ham with the Voker. Decent Roche, decent push. They cooldown reliant though. Oh, and well, there's the TB.
There we go, TB. Nice, good predict, good predict. And then on the side of NoPing, they still need an off-laner. Tidehunter picked Mars and Legion, Timbersaw, Magnus, Beastmaster, all banned. That's a lot of off-laners right there. What's left?
You could always, in case, you know, you can't find anything, put the Puck off lane, get the Lesh. You could add in Necrophos, which still some people go for. No one plays Axe, so that one can be thrown in the dumpster. Underlord, always good against TB, especially in the laning stage.
Yeah. Underlord's still there. Yeah, that's Oh, Pango. Oh yes. I love that. Love that mobility. Great. Yep. Good. Love that. I like NoPing's draft. I'm not sure if I think it's a stronger draft. I'm leaning personally a little bit more towards APU King of Kings. But I think NoPing has a fun draft again. And Pangolier is great. I love Pangolier. What a cool hero, you know? Just what a cool hero.
The reason Pango is pretty solid this game is with the Phoenix Egg. Like, you Dream Call people in place, then you roll through it, keep them stunned while they're in the Dream Call, or knock them out of the Dream Call to snap it. Then you've got the Phoenix with the Phoenix Egg nearby, but just far enough so that they can't right-click it, and the Pangolier keeps on stunning his opponent so that they can't finish the Phoenix Egg. Even the disarm from the Pangolier is amazing to make sure that the Phoenix Egg goes off, because that's one of the problems they had last game. They just couldn't control it well enough. However, I do like the APU King of Kings draft a little bit more. I think TB is just an amazing hero. Razor has a lot of problems taking him down, especially towards the later portions of the game. And one thing that I thought that they were kind of lacking last game was team fight. And, well, in their engagement so far, it does feel like, for the most part, APU King of Kings had the better coordination in terms of ultimate usage.
Absolutely. Really seems like they did. It seems like NoPing Esports has a little bit of trouble with coordination there. Okay, I love to see that master level. Wait, is that master or grandmaster? No, master level Pangolier. I like that. This is a very committed Pangolier player.
Well, Pangolier, of course. Always a fan favorite. Whatever the meta is, again, it's a hero that always can get played because of his innate toolkit. There are, of course, two different builds. I honestly would like to see him go for the Aghanim Scepter Pangolier build, even though the Yule Scepter is like more common than Blink Yules. But Aghanim Scepter with the Swashbuckle constantly disarming the TB and his illusions is just so much value.
Ooh, yeah, that's actually really, really good. Seems like a, yeah, I mean, why wouldn't he pick that up? Seems like
it's
a
costly.
no-brainer, right?
It's very costly,
yeah.
and your team is not going to have any use for you in the earlier parts of the game where you normally want to hunt down the TB, which is kind of the downside of it. Because with the Yule / Blink Dagger, you can really just constantly keep bombarding the TB, and otherwise it takes a while to farm a full Ags.
Yeah, okay, that's valid. I didn't consider that, but it does seem like a little bit of a no-brainer regarding the things it does. But yeah, I get your point. He does need to be a little bit more active and do a little bit more in the early game to shut down this TB. That makes perfect sense.
There's definitely going to be a timer for the NoPing side. TB is by far the strongest core in this game. There's definitely ways to deal with the TB regardless. But it's not going to be an easy affair, especially when you're looking at late game Invoker, you're giving him the Alacrity buff, and you've got the, if the Weaver goes for, of course, supportive build, you've got the Time Lapse on him, you've also got Disruptor, Ravage, Static Storm, Kinetic Field, combos that can definitely do a lot of work, where the Bane still, it's a Bane. You get to the late portions of the game and it's still a Bane.
Absolutely. Razor walking this Tidehunter here, leashing him a little bit, getting him a little bit of extra attack damage. I think one of the most annoying parts of playing Razor, though, is that his attack damage is so incredibly low, and I think his attack animation is very annoying. So getting that little bit of leash static link damage is just very, very useful to actually getting last hits.
Well, I despise the Weaver's attack animation 17 times more. Probably the my most hated attack animation in the game.
Okay, I mean, yeah, it's all personal opinion. I don't agree with you, but I see where you're coming from. Absolutely. Weaver annoying this Phoenix in lane. Not a lot going on yet. Disruptor getting a little bit low, though, but should be able to be fine here. And mid seems to be relatively equal.
Up top, RDO takes a lot of damage. Minus armor from both the Weaver and the Tide. Combined is tough to deal with for pretty much anyone. I mean, it is probably the strongest off-lane duo that you can have this patch, a Weaver plus Tide. Because you always just have the constant minus armor from the Gush plus the minus armor from the Swarm. And you're walking around with, well, Razor innately doesn't have much armor, 3 in total. And the Phoenix only has the singular point.
Oh. Definitely not a fun lane to lane against. This Weaver is just here to be annoying.
He's doing a marvelous job at that. Ooh, gets the big creep as well. Steals it away from the Razor. That is nice. No tomato clapper for you.
Tomato clapper. Disruptor, meanwhile, putting a sentry down middle and walking back to bottom lane. Terrorblade been alone for a little bit, but is able to handle himself here. Gets a little bit more XP because of that. And is still doing really well with last hits. You're not really able to shut him down yet.
A lot of damage on the Weaver, and right now he's actually going to heal himself up to join back in. But he's pretty much run out of mana in mid analog. Same story, but he does have the bottle with, of course, the water rune bottled up, so it'll be just fine. I mean, he's just using the MP to try and regain the mana and harass a little bit in the process.
Video, doing alright.
The Do they get the kill? Benny? No, Theolacor should be able to walk away. Even still has himself the Fairy Fire and even Nightmare to annoy a little bit more. But yeah, Benny, it's only a level 1 meta, so the damage is not superb just yet. And you need a lot more control to take down this Bane, who is fairly annoying, especially considering the amount of regen that he bought at the start of the game.
Having a little look at middle now. It seems like this Puck is doing a little bit better than his Invoker currently. But it doesn't really say too much yet. Weaver Phoenix is getting a little bit low.
Oh.
Weaver's just gonna be clicking on the... Ooh, that is incredibly low. Is he gonna be able to get the kill here? No! Not quite because of that Fire Spirits, that attack slow that the Phoenix is dealing here. And Phoenix does have a salve still. Kind of low mana though. Is he gonna heal up or is he gonna... Seems to be going back to base for a little bit, giving Razor that little bit of extra XP that he gets without the Phoenix being there.
Benny currently is just solo laning bottom lane because Serum is even just stacking the triangle, rotating towards the top lane to try and get a possible kill. But yeah, he was forced to TP back to base, and currently they're just letting Benny all alone in the bottom lane. They don't think he is at a risk of dying. To be fair, Nightmare doesn't work on the Terrorblade because of his illusions, but he is taking a lot of damage. Monster, does he have the mana? He can go for a swashbuckle here. Benny gets nightmared, it immediately gets taken care of, but the swashbuckle comes out. Benny dropping low, does stay alive, and Monster, is he gonna die? Yes indeed, Benny does die, but the turnaround comes through. Mini even rotates in. Theolacor is on the run, but should he die? Yeah, he should definitely die. Theolacor
Absolutely.
tickled down by Mini in the process.
Not great that Terrorblade died there, but those 2 return kills are definitely pretty good.
There is little hope for Radiant's middle tower.
Well, TB going for the mid lane. Can, of course, farm the jungle very easily, especially now that Hanses and his team are making sure some stacks come in. Actually, the stack gets denied because Hanses steals the Arcane Rune away from Analog. But the Dream Coil puts him in, immediately feeding away a kill towards Theolacor.
Puck getting really low though, but he has his bottle, he got it back from Bane, so he should be fine. This Invoker coming in from the side, not really gonna do much with that though. Bane is kind of chasing him here, and Puck is almost back to his full HP here. He's gonna be perfectly fine. Weaver rotated to the bottom lane here, getting a few clicks in on this Pango. Shikuchiing, but can't really face off against the Pango here, especially looking at the levels. Level 3 on Weaver, level 5 on Pango. So he's just gonna hang out there for a little bit. Seems like he's just kind of soaking up some XP. And Terrorblade meanwhile moved to the triangle to take those stacks that were made by this disruptor.
Yeah, TB should be just fine in his farming prowess, giving away that bottom lane towards the Weaver, who can, for the most part, dodge most of the spells on the NoPango side. There's a Rolling Thunder available. Does need to be a little bit careful on the Weaver, because he only has 1 point in Shikuchi, and there is going to be the Rolling Thunder immediately afterwards. Monster, they're trying to get the lockdown, and that is going to be successful as well, while top lane... Mini versus RDO. Heal comes out. RDO trying to stay alive. Mini is dropping low, but there is just barely the kill. Oh, yes, indeed. It will be, however, 2 kills for Mini. Does manage to get the experience for the 1, but all in all, a decent recovery on the APU King of Kings side. Could have been a lot worse.
Absolutely, and of course Terrorblade stayed alive and was there as well for the XP of those kills, which is very good. And meanwhile, this Bane went for this Disruptor here bottom. They're really far ahead. They're just between those 2 towers. They seem to have really taken over this bottom lane, and they're just gonna hang out here. They're just gonna have a very good time.
Looking to take down the tier 1 tower. Monsters cutting the creep wave. Make it a little bit easier, but so far it's very even in the net worth department. Benny's almost done with his Dragonlance top net worth, where a TB pretty much is supposed to be. And you're going to really need to send in some rotations to try and force him out of the jungle. Speaking of which, they did smoke up. NoPing coming in. Benny gets spotted. Does not have his ulti, and it's not even a chance to use it if he did. Immediate kill coming in for Analog.
Little bit painful there. They just knew he was farming there. Just not the end though. He's gonna probably be fine. He still has highest net worth. He's gonna be up quite soon and just gonna be able to keep farming there. Phoenix, meanwhile, found by Tidehunter. Phoenix is like, am I gonna do something with that? Nah, not quite. Bottom lane. 3 people from APU King of Kings here. Weaver's gone on, but it's Pangolier. Pangolier is he's not gonna be able to get out here. Actually, I was gonna say he's gonna manage to get out, but not quite. 3 people here right on top of him, killing him. Taking back control here in this bottom lane for a little while.
Of course, the Pango was pretty much rocking the top of his team, but that has been knocked down a peg. He's going for the Blink Dagger first. So he is, as expected, mainly just trying to make sure that Benny doesn't get a completely free game in terms of farming, because the Razor does not outfarm a TB. Barely anything outfarms a TB. Maybe a Naga Siren.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, no, Razor's not gonna outfarm him, but little heroes can, honestly. But yeah, this TB is just doing what a TB does. He's just in this triangle area, getting his farm on, and at the top of the network chart, though Razor is not that far behind.
Well, Mini uses Invis, expects it to be hunted in the process by the NoPing side. Actually has all the vision he needs of Monster and Analog, so we'll be diving on them. But KJ walks in vision. Is he going to attempt to consider going for that one while bottom lane hands is creeping in the trees? Will be just fine. Still doesn't have his level 6 just yet on the Weaver, which is a bit problematic, but who's going to be getting the Tome of Knowledge? It's on the Disruptor. They want that Static Storm instead.
Very much understandable. Kind of hoping for the Weaver to go Aghanims here. See if he's gonna do that this time instead of going for a, you know, clicky boy build.
He's going Boots of Speed and he already has a Hand of Elvenskin, so he's Band of Elvenskin, sorry. He's probably still gonna go for the Power Treads. I mean, I don't hate it, but...
You don't love it.
I don't love it. That is indeed correct.
NoPing putting a little bit of pressure mid here. They're all kind of gathering here. Seems like they want to take this tower at any cost. Fortify coming in though. Tidehunter's mid as well. He's going to be building towards a blink quite quickly. Has a medallion already. The mid tower is going to go down though. Can't really do much with all those heroes
top.
standing around.
But immediate Static Storm Connect Field coming out. Benny's going for the right click fight. They sent the puck away from the engagement. Benny does have a magic wand and could, of course, pop his ulti if he needs to quickly heal. Does need a target to heal up, and they're actually just going to take care of the Phoenix egg in the process. Monster rolls all the way through, has a swashbuckle available, but on the other side there is Sexy Fat in case it's needed. Benny's just going to be fine, and that is a terrible move coming out. Great positioning from Serum. Staying hidden in the trees, gets everything done to keep his TB alive, and currently Analog will be disengaging because they don't have any more catch left on the side of APU King of Kings.
One return kill there for this puck on that Weaver, but generally speaking, kind of a bad fight there for NoPing. Terrorblade, obviously, as expected, still at the top there, but Razor still doing decently. He's just farming bottom lane here, kind of uninterrupted it seems, and still NoPing are in the game. It's not looking too hot, still like only a 1k advantage for APU King of Kings, but you know, last time it also kind of started off a little bit like this, so let's hope for NoPing that they manage to turn it around a little bit this time.
Yeah, the problem is the TB is getting a little bit far ahead. Once that Manta is done, his farming speed does increase significantly, considering he can just send more illusions to the side every single time. And he is fairly tough to kill once. I mean, Manstall not so much, but afterwards, actually looking to go for the Ayaskadi immediately. Top lane Serum getting rolled on. The Disruptor this time should not be able to survive the roll and will be taken down as well. So a big fight on the other side. KJ found out. RDO runs through. Doesn't have his BKB just yet. Dreamcoil onto 2. One of them being Meanie, but the Ravage gets blown. Analog gets caught. And Analog, will he be able to get taken down? Yes, indeed. But finds the trade onto Meanie. Thanks to, of course, the dot from his Witchblade.
2 for 2. Support mid for support mid.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
See what this Terrorblade is gonna go for. He has his Yasha, has his Dragonlance. He's gonna go for Scotty as his next pickup now. He's really maximizing his farm. He's 1k ahead of this Razor right now, and Razor is gonna go for that BKB. He's quite close to it, a little bit less than 1k before he has his BKB completed. That's definitely gonna help him quite a bit as to not getting caught by a lot of these heroes on the side of APU King of Kings who smoked. Looks like they want to get a pick off here. They're going to walk into the enemy jungle and they're going to be able to find Pango. Urn coming in, Spirit Vessel coming in, I mean. And that is 3 heroes right on top of him and a roll there as well. Trying, but not quite succeeding because of this Disruptor ult. Disruptor is going to die for that though. And that is a 1-for-1 trade-off. However, Disruptor is not quite as high value as Pangolier is, but they are gonna take Bane here as well. Not looking so good. Weaver is still stuck here. He's gonna be able to ult though. This Phoenix might be in a little bit of a pickle there. He's gonna try and run back to his tower. Manages to get tornadoed though, and ults here. Are they gonna be able to get enough clicks on this egg? They are. Phoenix dies here, but as well as Invoker, and Sexy Fat dies for this as well. A lot of chaotic things going on, and the mid tower going down. Getting denied, actually. Best case scenario, I guess, if it was going to go down anyway.
That was a pretty deep fight from APU King of Kings. Some nice moves coming out, especially the Phoenix getting his ult off just in the nick of time, that extra damage. And the distraction of where the NoPing players should be hitting, sorry, the APU players should be hitting, really gave them the advantage to get those final 2 kills on both the Tide and the Voker. But while all of that was going on, the massive distraction was going on. Benny's just continuing to farm up, is almost 2k ahead of the Razor right now. Razor is done with the BKB, but once that Ayaskadi is done, you know, BKB is nice, but it still gets completely annihilated by a fat TB.
Looks like this Invoker is going to go for Hand of Midas here next. He's about 200 gold off of it right now. So that is definitely interesting, getting that little bit of extra farm and XP on. And a smoke coming in, 5-man smoke on the side of NoPing Esports. Gonna attempt to get a few pickoffs, or are they gonna be able to do Roche? I'm not quite sure what they want to do here.
They can't do
Seem
Roche.
like they have a lot of Roche potential. Yeah, exactly.
They're just looking for the TB, but he's all the way on the other side. It was read perfectly by APU, so smoke gun completely filled. It's cost them a lot more time, while in the meantime, Benny just continues his farming spree. Is now well, more than 2k ahead of RDO, and that Ayaskadi is very close to being finished.
Yeah, this Terrorblade really needs to be stopped, honestly, by NoPing. You know, I think that the win condition is for them definitely is to make sure that this Terrorblade stops farming, but they just haven't really found him so far.
Ansys is actually going for that BKB again on the Weaver after his power treads. Are you kidding me? Well, I guess everyone should just do that in all your pubs.
Please don't. Honestly, please don't. But I mean, you know, if it works for them last time, so, you know, why change a winning strat? Right? Sort of?
He's been taking a lot of the farm on the map, though. That's the only downside of this build, because you need to farm a lot for it. In the meantime, mid, Tide's gonna get jumped. Does have a Ravage still available. Does not get it off. on the side, the Puck will be able to get the Dream Coil and disengage in the process. Actually, the Puck is being chased down still. Hanses, can he get the catch onto Analog? No, he cannot. And Mini will be found out as well. So that's a double kill. And I mean, the Tide was just... The Puck did such a good job of spreading the fight so much that no one could join the Tide. So if he blew his Ravage, it still would have amounted to very little.
Yeah, that was very well played on the side of NoPing. That's definitely a little bit of the advantage that they needed. Still, gold advantage though for APU King of Kings, which is kind of inevitable with this continuously farming Terrorblade. What is Puck gonna go for next, actually? I'm not quite sure. What do you think Puck is gonna be wanting to build this game?
I think bots are always a nice thing to get on Puck, especially considering you're up against a TB, so he's going to do a lot of split push shenanigans. You want to be able to be as mobile as possible. Kaya Sanj is another item that I kind of expect him to go for, considering it's just the most value item in the game currently. I don't think Ags this game does much, to be fair. Like, yeah, it's good against the Weaver, but the Tide doesn't really care because he's not a BKB builder per se. TB is... It's good against TB, but for the most part, he pops his ult, he just stands still, and he's waiting for everyone to walk towards him. So, yeah. Or he is going to go for the Indusk on the Puck, which, okay. Don't want to get one shot. It's an item.
It is definitely an item. Looks like NP is gathering again. Like they maybe wanna do another bit of a smoke here. Absolutely, they do want to smoke there. Refresher orb getting built, by the way, on Razor.
Well, Sexy Fat immediately disengaging the moment after he hits the mid with an anchor smash. The chase coming out from the side of they know on APU. Look at that, they're already in the trees. They spot out. There's no one of the enemy in their jungle. In their triangle, there's no one in their jungle. There's no one bottom. There's no one in the Radiant jungle. They can only be one place, and still Serum gets caught in the process. But you know, he tanks a smoke, he tanks a gank, and his entire team is completely alive. So that is definitely worthwhile for APU.
Absolutely, that's the kind of sacrifice that you know is all perfectly fine and dandy when you are a position 5 support. Especially if it means that your Terrorblade is still free farming. Puck, meanwhile, getting caught, but not quite. Pops Illusion Rune there. Looks like they're trying to gather here for this Roshan, and they're gonna try to go for it. But are they aware on the side of APU King of Kings, though? Because it doesn't really look like they are aware.
I mean, they definitely know that they're taking Roast, they just don't really care. Because TB doesn't... Because TB, he just wants to get his BKB and doesn't want to fight until he gets his BKB. And honestly, if they get like an extra life on the Puck or the Razor, in this case the Razor, it doesn't mean too much for the side of APU King of Kings. They just need TB to get fat. He is right now 4k ahead of RDO, and with the BKB done, for the most part, in the team fight, unless, of course, Bane gets a full duration Fiend Script going, he should be A-okay.
That's some big confidence there, though, with that whole, you know, they see them Roshing, and they're like, you know what, go Rosh, we don't care. Go ahead. Tidehunter, though, is getting caught out here by 3 heroes on middle. Ult pops on this Pangolier.
Oh, split push, though. Tier 3 already starting to take some damage in the process, and yeah, it's of course damage that they can't heal on the side of NoPing, so you gotta be careful, because with the TB and Evoker on the enemy team, they're constantly gonna have those split push shenanigans going in.
Razor can click pretty hard now. He leashed this Weaver for a little bit. He's gonna take some Ancients with that. Oh, they're gonna go for this Weaver though. He got caught out now by Bane, by Nightmare. Fiend Script coming in as well, and then the kill coming in on this Pangolier. Meanwhile, Pango has climbed up quite a bit actually on this net worth chart. He was above Razor just now for a few seconds. He's above Razor again. Kind of a similar net worth as Razor, but then this Terrorblade still way above all of them with, yeah, about 5k-ish, 4.8k advantage, so...
Smoke
and
up.
another smoke.
Yep, they're looking to constantly keep control over the triangle, but to be fair, yeah, TB doesn't care. He just farms another part of the map, is going for the Hurricane Pike next on the TB. I mean, they are giving him way too much space, and we all know that that's going to be a terrible mistake. Serum's going to get caught. Another smoke gank used. Benny is nearby, but he just kind of wants to run away. Nightmare holds the TB in place, keeps him away from the engagement. The Phoenix Egg gets dropped. Sexy Fast trying to run away. Has the Ravage still available, but with the Invis Rune, he is on 16 HP. And he walks away on the Tide. So they find 2 supports, but they don't find the Tide. And, I mean, yeah, he got Nightmare on the TB, but it doesn't matter too much. He's actually just going to go for the straight TP away. He knows exactly what they need to win the game, and that is disengage. Analog almost gets taken down, though. Mini is still alive. Disarm comes through, forces them back, goes for the Invis. Can they kill him off? Yes, they do have the damage to finish the job.
3 people dead on the side of APU King of Kings, and this Terrorblade just TP's out, continues farming. He's gonna want to go for a Hurricane Pike here, it seems, as his next item, as he has completed his Eye of Skadi already. And he's still happily farming, you know, still in Aegis though on this Razor for about 2 minutes. They just really need to go and find this TB now, but the TB finds them instead. He's gonna be fighting now. He's very, very strong. And this Aegis gets popped on this Razor. Terrorblade's still hanging around though. He's got Metamorphosis popped as well. He's just clicking so hard. And it's just way, way too much for NP. Is he gonna be able to get out though, or might he die here? He does die for this. That is a carry for a carry, but TB did die for that, which is very good for them. Tidedown's gonna go down as well. Is Disruptor gonna be able to get out? He ults here, and he runs away.
Oh, Analog is jiving and juking through the fight. Mini misses everything because Analog is playing on top of his game. Beautiful catch. Throws out the Dream Coil in the end, which definitely was not really a necessity there. But Monster gets the final kill. And yeah, the TB doesn't have any backup from his teammates. He gets hit by the Sunray, which of course is percentage-based burn damage. So it burns. It doesn't matter how much HP you have. You take a ton of damage, and if there's no one to back you up, if there's no, you know, Weaver time lapse, for instance, to keep you alive, or any other defensive tool, I mean, they have nothing to keep him alive. There's no Glimmer, there's no Force Staff. They literally just saying, TB, you must handle it yourself.
Disruptor's gonna go for Drum of Endurance, and this Weaver, meanwhile, going for Sheepstick, it seems. So, yeah, I mean, that's definitely interesting. They might come to regret that at some point, that they're not going to be able to save their carry.
I mean, they need a load to absorb this game against the silences, the burns, and of course the Razor static links. They need one on the TB at most times. They need a Heaven's Halberd as well. They need Sexy Fat to not die. That is his 6th death already on a Tide this game. He's going for Ags, but, you know, it's... I mean, Ags is a great item, don't get me wrong, but you need a load surb. You need a Heaven's Halberd because you need to disarm the Razor the moment he static links someone. There's so many good items that they're just not building. Force Staff is, for instance, great item this game. Glimmer, great item this game. Anything else but a Power Treads BKB on the Weaver, great item this game.
Really looks like they're just really going for that all-core kind of lineup here. Definitely interesting. I mean, especially this Disruptor going for the drum. Like, what is up with that? Because I don't think I've seen that very often.
Drum is a nice item per se, but I think you need saves because we did definitely see the TB, well, completely struggle. Couldn't get. The problem was he didn't get his BKB off, of course. He still has it on 9 seconds. He got stun locked, but in that case, you know, he's completely stuck. Get him out of there somehow. Because there's multiple ways in this game that you can get completely locked down. Pango is one of them, but you also have a full Fiend's Grip from the Bane if no one is there to save his life.
And this Bane is gonna go for BKB actually to make sure that his Fiend's Grip is gonna stay mostly uninterrupted. Except for, of course, the few things that can go through that BKB. But he's definitely building up to be able to fully do his Fiend's Grip.
Well, yeah, there is nothing that pierces BKB on APU King of Kings this game. So it's actually like the best item that you can get if you want to get the full duration Fiend's Grip on the TB. They don't have the damage if the Terrorblade is dead for the most part to take down the Bane in time. And the only item that, two items that are of course amazing against this would be the Aghanim Scepter on the Weaver or Lotus Orb on anyone else.
Yeah, Lotus Orb does sound like a pretty good item here, to be honest. But we'll see what they're gonna do. The Tidehunter does almost have his Aghanims though. It's about 800, 900-ish gold off right now. What are they planning? There are a lot of drawings, a lot of pings going on right now. And a smoke on APU King of Kings on Tidehunter, Terrorblade, and a Disruptor.
Okay, looking to get a bit aggressive here. Ravage gets blown immediately, going in on towards the Phoenix. Exome Kinetic Field, hold him in place. The Nightmare Save, can it be doing the work? The Fiend's Grip onto Benny. He's being held in place, but the Glimpse does keep Benny off of them. And Benny just trying to find the Sunder target here. Gets himself Serum's HP and will be trying to continue on. But he's getting locked down in the process. Takes a lot of damage. Sexy Fat going very aggressive, as does the Weaver, looking for Thealacor on that Bane. The Nightmare comes up, but the kill gets secured. Sunstrike comes through. Benny does not have another Sunder available. Analog is honestly doing so much work for the side of NoPing. Can he stay alive this time? That won't be the case. Swashbuckle misses from Monster. And Benny, just get away. Why are you still lurking about? Monster's looking for your life.
He wants to get that kill so bad. But it looks like Pango is going to be able to get out. He's such a mobile hero. He has Blink Dagger as well. But is Weaver chasing? No, he's not. They kind of gave up. They're like, alright, Pango may escape. We'll let him.
That was a big Ravage, making sure, of course, that they couldn't get too much done in the process in that engagement. Nonetheless, still a lot of work came out from the Pangolier lockdown. And for the most part, Bane's Fiend's Grip did go for quite a decent time on the TP, but luckily enough, Serum was well on his, was just paying enough attention to immediately try to interrupt the Bane's Fiend Grip. But the moment he gets that BKB done, that fight, for instance, would be completely different and the TP would be locked down out of the entire engagement.
I see that this Terrorblade is going to go for a Lincoln Sphere, which definitely helps out, you know, against that Fiend's Grip and everything. You know, making sure that he's not going to be the first person to be gripped, or not going to be gripped at all, at least for the first little bit of the engagement. That's good. I think that's a decent item. That definitely is a little bit in line with, you know, the Lotus Orb thing that you were saying before.
Okay, Monster's a god. He just takes down Mini completely, 100-0, and with a bit of help from, of course, the Phoenix. But for that entire duration, Mini was not able to move. Couldn't pop his BKB though. Probably should have popped it a little bit sooner. But yeah, that's the stun lock that you can get with the Eul Scepter roll up Blink Dagger combo on a Pango. And now they get themselves a nice free Roche with the Aegis plus shard. And, well, they know exactly what they're doing. They're telling the enemies, we know exactly what you're doing.
Yeah. Can be a little bit of a free Roach here. And this TB, meanwhile, Illusion clicking that tier 3 tower there. And that's another Roche kill for NoPing. And on Razor, of course. And APU King of Kings smokes for that. They know exactly where NP are.
Exome Kinetic Field used.
Trying to get this Pango, but Pango just rolls away. BKB pop now on this Terrorblade as well. Just trying to run away now. They wanted to go for the engage, and now they just want to get the hell out.
Yeah, BKBs have been used on the side of APU. KJ almost gets hit by the Sunstrike, but it gets slightly dodged. While in the meantime, Hansa's trying to cut the creep wave in mid, making sure no pushes can come through, though Thealacor has that Fiend's Grip available to hold the Weaver in place, and should be able to get the full duration coming in with Analog bringing out enough damage to find the Weaver finisher. And yeah, that's the downside this game. No silencer, no saves, 70 seconds, no Weaver. The Weaver has a Lincoln's BKB power treads going for the Chrysalis. Where is that bloody Lotus Orb / Aghanim Scepter?
Tide going for Refresher. What else are people building? Chrysalis getting built now on this Weaver. He's got Lincolns as well. And then a Glimmer Cape getting built on this Raptor. There we go. That is a support item.
Yep, but that would be the only support item that they'll have. Tide is going for a Refresh Orb. It's an interesting game. I mean, yeah, no, it's an interesting game. I'm not the biggest fan of the item choices. I mean, TB is doing a great job, Benny, but like his teammates are really not trying to help him.
Yeah, feels a little bit rough. Feels a little bit like they got, you know, greedy.
Yeah, definitely feels that way. Sexy Fat is now below his own Weaver in net worth. Who, okay, that was weird. He just bought new boots, but I guess that was a misclick.
Didn't quite catch that. Nobody caught that. We're all good. TP out by Sexy Fat.
Puck with the
All
Dagon.
just missing each other.
One-shotting the illusions of the TB because he kinda can't right-click them down for the most part.
Radiant scan, eager to know Dire scanning for enemies.
And it's always nice to have that insta burst against the Disruptor, break the Lincolns of the Weaver, break the Lincolns on the TB. Who still has a passive Yasha in his inventory. Well, it's not necessarily passive, but could still build it up into a Manta style, which it's not a bad Manta style game. Or a SNY, which it's also not a bad SNY game to get some more status resistance.
Looks like he's going to be building it into nothing, because he's going to get a Daedalus. Illusions are so strong, this TB illusions.
Yeah, that's the main reason why Puck most likely went for that Dagon. The one-shot potential. Always a nice addition. It's also just good burst.
A golden thread.
I mean, Tide doesn't have a Hood of Defiance either. It does show. He did die quite a decent amount of times from just straight-up magic damage.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting, actually. That he didn't pick that up. It's all just looking a little bit greedy. That's all. All looking a little bit greedy.
Well, the Aegis is going to expire in give or take a minute, so currently the side of APU, King of Kings, just need to make sure that it expires before they want to take an engagement, and even then I don't necessarily know if they want to take an engagement.
No, it's kind of looking like NoPing is playing into their timing here, and that APU King of Kings is not really doing a lot. I mean, they still have Terrorblade, they still have that insurance policy there, but I don't know. I'm not so confident anymore.
Well, Sexy Fat, he just can't handle magic damage. No Hood means he dies. No Hood, no BKB is an easy target. Bought out the double Perseverance, so doesn't have money for a buyback either. For another 500 gold. Monster. Are they gonna try and get the kill secured? Monster's level 23. Benny's level 21. Of course, that's one of the problems with the TB. Doesn't necessarily farm everything with his main hero, so doesn't have that much HP. What the hell? Weaver's all the way cutting creep waves. Going Nullifier.
Oh, yeah.
Stop it!
Getting the tower. He is going to be able to get some damage here on this high ground, though. But APU King of Kings is gathering here to do something. Puck jumping in.
Okay, Jay. As his ult. Doesn't necessarily need it just yet. Gets glimpsed back. Decides not to pop it. could have used it just to try and stay alive. There is a roll in from Monster, but the BKB poppage from Benny. So big ult for, well, a big cooldown being expended. Monster's got the full Gleipnir as well against all the TB and his illusions, holding them all in place while you can roll around freely.
It's looking like NoPing is definitely a little bit more aware of what they should be building to deal with the enemy team, while APU King of Kings is still just... I'm just not quite sure what they're doing.
I mean, it's not that bad, because you still have a TB, and if they win, it's because they still have a TB. For the most part. Though that refresher from Sexy Fat could also change everything around. You get a double Ravage in a team fight, and NoPing gets completely caught off guard. You blow him up. The TB just goes ham, and that is a G to the G. But the Bane has that BKB now done as well. That's going to add in a lot more fun in these engagements.
Blink. But yeah, it's this Bane is gonna be it's gonna be quite dangerous actually. It's a Bane with BKB sounds very, very scary to me, honestly. A smoke coming in on APU King of Kings as well. They just wanna see if they can get a pick off here. Do they know where they are though?
Well, it seems they are expecting it. Both sides staying very far away from each other. Benny's got that full Daedalus done as well. No buyback currently. Roshan possibly up in 3 minutes or in 30 seconds. So definitely have to start eyeing that area, because that is of course the third Roshan. Monster dodges it. Icarus dive deep on towards Mini. The root comes out, and there's going to be Monster trying to go ham. Phoenix gets dropped. Can they take care of the egg? No one is right clicking it. They're just trying to disengage Phoenix. Benny's being completely held down by Theo Ligor. No one is saving him, and again there is no save. The full Fiend's Grape duration comes in, and they can't do anything about it. Big fat whopping mistake. Hans's Weaver's trying to disengage. And a massive teamfight victory from NoPing, and it's just because they don't have any tools to keep their players alive.
Yeah, that was absolutely devastating for APU King of Kings. NP is going to be able to push up a little bit now. No buyback on Terrorblade or Tidehunter. I mean, it's still not the end of the game, but it's definitely not looking very hot for APU King of Kings. And this Razor is doing quite well right now.
I mean, he's trying to distract them as much as possible, which is currently doing, well, to maximum effect. Monster on the Pangolier, though, has been absolutely exceptional in his performance this game. Just constantly been holding them at bay. Now he's even going to roll in, trying to get the Disruptor kill. Lockdown is there. RDO joins the fun. The kill secured. And Monster even uses Mini off while they quickly take care of the tier 3 tier tower top. There is no meta on the TB if he comes back alive. There is no BKB. Well, there is a BKB, but the Ravage gets blown and it connects onto nothing?
That was so unfortunate. Oh my god. Oh my. Very awkward.
Yep.
Very awkward.
That is pretty much the entirety of APU King of Kings' performance this game. Very awkward all the way through.
Very awkward. Absolutely. They had a lot of potential at the start of the game, though, with that, you know, unobstructed Terrorblade just farming and being able to do whatever he wants. And now it's just turned around so incredibly hard. Looks like they might want to do Roche, but we don't quite dare to do that. Refresher Orb is up on this Tidehunter.
A golden thread.
This next Roche you can't really give away. It's, of course, the cheese is always nice, but the refresh shard is very nasty if they get their spells off. KJ, for instance, double Phoenix Egg in the engagement could be disastrous for them to deal with. And, you know, Razor running around with 3 Eye of the Storms, 3 BKBs is also not too shabby. Walking up the high ground, there's going to be the refresher used by Sexy Fat. Stunned up, can't get his Ravage off. Is actually dropping low, is locked down. Again, stun lock, taken down. Sexy Fat, no buyback available. And the refresher from RDO is gonna try and continue on towards this Razor, but the Phoenix Egg gets dropped and the Razor needs to disengage, but sorry, TB, but there's gonna be again the full duration. Fiend's Grip coming in, Hands is on the Weaver, trying to do what he can, but he just gets Dagon out of existence by Analog. It's a full, completely one-sided affair, and they can't do anything on the side of APU King of Kings.
Someone lays blame.
It's feeling like NoPing might be able to take this. They have a 19k gold advantage right now. It's yeah, they're gonna get Roche here now. They're not gonna be able to stop them. Tidehunter's up in 30 seconds, has ult, but that's not gonna be in time to do anything about this. Not really gonna expend buybacks for this either, and it's just Invoker and Disruptor now to deal with this, and they will not be able to. So that is another Roshan for them. Refresher Shard.
Oh, Monster versus Mini. Monster goes for the roll. They're trying to keep them distracted as much as possible, while Roshan is slowly but surely dying. Dktruman's got that blink dagger, so he can even position himself better for those Fiend Scripts. But to be fair, we've been watching him and he's been hitting the Fiend Scripts on that TB perfectly regardless. I guess next item, you know, add in an Ags, then he's got that big cooldown reduction as well.
He dropped Refresher Shard, picked it up again. Is he gonna be able to, is he gonna want to take that or give it to one of his teammates? I'm not quite sure what he wants to do with it.
He probably wants that triple BKB slash triple Eye of the Storm. Like, it's a very long duration where you just can't die because you also have the Satanic and you constantly keep healing. Static links all over the place. Fiend's Grip again by Dktruman and another kill. This time it's going to be Mini out of the picture. I gotta say, this is, you know, I have my doubts. Position for Bane. Sounds yucky, but he's been doing a ton of work.
It's absolutely working.
Weaver, Lincoln's pops his BKB as well. Gets himself back. Force Staff would have done the same, would have also stayed alive. Cost a lot less, but...
Oh, it's, what an interesting game, honestly. A very, very interesting game. Meanwhile, Tidehunter has already finished his Ags, of course, with that ground-targeted Gush. He is going for Force Staff now.
Well,
So that
at least
is
someone is.
Yeah, I mean, it's the position 3 at 45 minutes, but it is a 4-staff nonetheless.
And the problem is, Disruptor is trying to get that Glimmer, you know, the one that you talked about 20 minutes ago. Yeah, it's still not anywhere closer. Ravage gets blown though. RDO dropping low. RDO, that's going to be the Aegis pop. The problem is, Metamorphosis and Ravage have been blown for that kill. They do have a refresher for a second one. Benny's losing a lot of HP. Benny's dropping low. Benny's again dead. They have no saves. They lock him down. He buys back, but there is no Metamorphosis. He can't really do much in the process. Disengage coming out from NoPing. Take the top set of racks. Honestly, take every racks because the tier 2 tower bottom lane is getting taken down by the creeps in the meantime. Yeah, the catapults will be able to just about finish it off as well. And yeah, there's just...
What can they still do? What can
nothing.
they still do at this point? Just absolutely nothing, it seems. How are they going to get back from this? I seriously don't know.
I mean, it's very simple. You just click Fiend's Grip on TB and they, like, BKB TB, they can't do anything. Even if they would have the entirety of APU King of Kings just right-clicking the Bane, he'd probably still have almost as a full duration going off with that ridiculous armor that he also has.
What a game. Honestly, what a game. NoPing is playing so incredibly well. 36k gold advantage right now. That is enormous. And at the top of the network chart is Pango, closely followed by Puck, and then this Razor. This Pango, like you said before as well, this Pango is doing a lot of work.
Yeah, Monster looking pretty solid in his performance. Has a Wind Waker, Bissell Blade, top net worth of the game. And that's saying something.
Absolutely, he's been playing so incredibly well. And I love to see that. I love to see Pangos popping off. And of course, don't forget about Puck and Razor. Their whole team, while they were, you know, just behind for quite a bit of the first bit of the game, they just managed to take it all back so convincingly here. Shutting them down, really. Like, APU King of Kings just feels like they've been completely shut down.
The Puck actually has his Aghanim Scepter just bottled. Backpacked. Like, he's not having it equipped. Together with the Switchblade. This looks so weird.
Wait, who does?
The Puck. His axe is just in his backpack.
Oh yeah, so it is. Interesting. You'd rather have a bottle than an axe. I mean, he must have his reasons. He's a pro player after all. I'm sure he knows exactly what he's doing.
I mean, he wants to, of course, pop the bottle, swap it in and everything, but I guess he's just trying to farm up enough money so that he, of course, has it.
Oh, there we go.
Otherwise, you know, the equipped version of it. But yeah, he's got that massive spell damage. He does 944 damage with the Dagon Burst.
That is insane. So good. What about the neutral items though?
Disruptors.
Does he
Got the
Puck
shadow.
has Vambrace?
Yeah, I also quickly checked that. I guess you could go for like the Witchbane Flicker. Flicker's actually not bad. Flicker's actually pretty good, but he wants the spell amplification. Because now he also has an E-Blade while equipping the Aghanim Scepter, so he's got the full kit ready to just blow someone out of existence.
Yeah, exactly. I was like wondering why does he still have a tier 2 item when it's like 49 minutes into the game, but you know, well, it makes sense. What you said makes sense. Just was just a little bit surprised to see that smoke coming in on APU King of Kings, and a singular smoke here on NP as well. It's gonna be like a final Hail Mary for APU King of Kings because it sure does feel like it.
Well, RDO starts off with a lot of damage stolen if the fight engagement starts. Theater Liqueur dropping low. Ravage gets blown by Sexy Fet. They might finally kill off the Bane. Yes, indeed. There's the TB. Where's the TB? Actually, I'm looking for the TB. Oh, he's running away. He got static linked in the process. Big KB pop by RDO just in the nick of time. The 4-step from Sexy Fat. Oh, look at that. It actually saves your life. Or does it? No, it does not. Never mind.
Dagon.
I stand corrected. Dagon does a bit too much damage. He attempted to disengage, but no way, Jose. And Sexy Fat does not have a buyback. That is actually a dieback on the Tide Hunter. So no Ravage for quite some time.
I just love how you're like, wait, where's TB? Wait, where's TB?
I heard TB.
Oh, he's running away.
I heard TB and like his ulti, and I was like, he's there. And then I'm looking, he's not there. Where did he pop his ulti?
Oh yeah, he just ran the hell away. Did not have faith in that at all.
Mini. Well, they're gonna lose that Core Weaver. Monster using the Wind Waker to position better for when he comes out of the Wind Waker to continue the roll.
What an interesting interaction, actually. I wasn't quite realizing that.
I love the Wind Waker. It's just the problem, it costs a fortune.
Right, yeah, but luckily this guy has a fortune.
Yeah, he's you know, loving life right now. Overwhelming blink done as well on the Pango. 4k HP on a nice agility hero.
Oh my, that's insane. This Pango is so incredibly strong.
Going in, Serum dropping low. There's going to be Benny with the meta trying to go ham, but there's the Phoenix Egg right on top, so that means he's just going to get stunned. Nothing he can do. Finished off, easily picked up. Big Dagon Blast to his Keister, and the GG gets called. Unsurprisingly, but a 47k net worth advantage, maybe 48k net worth advantage in a 52-minute game. And honestly, like, it was a great game, though it was very infuriating at the same time.
Yeah, that was that was just a weird game. You know? That was a very, very strange game. You know, what we talked about earlier as well. I just think it's so just an interesting choice of these two supports on the side of APU King of Kings to really not go any support items for such a long time. You know, like they didn't even have a Glimmer Cape. At how long did this game take? Like more than 15 minutes? Disruptor is struggling to get that Glimmer Cape. He does have a drum though. I don't know, it was just all a little bit awkward. This Weaver, you know, we thought game one, that Weaver build worked out for them. Might as well do it game 2, but really they just needed that Aghanims on Weaver. They needed all these other items that were just not getting bought. And I don't know, they had a lot of potential there at the start of the game with this Terrorblade just farming unobstructedly. But the rest of his team could just not save him.
I mean, it shows pretty much if you look at the quick hero damage dealt. Weaver did a total of 243 damage to buildings and did 14.5k damage to heroes with a right-click core Weaver build in a 52-minute game. Not superb. Just not superb. Yeah, the Ags is definitely a necessity of this game. Multiple times, Benny just had a full duration Fiend's Grip on him, and no one was there. Like, Loadsorb, the Heaven's Halberd would have been amazing as well for their team. Aghanim Scepter on the Weaver. So many tools that would Glimmer Cape, 4 staffs. So many things that could have kept them alive, but, yep.
Yeah. They just didn't do it. Yeah, they just didn't do it. They were super greedy, and they just, I felt just, they made bad choices. They really just made bad choices, and NoPing really profited off of that, and they just completely popped off. And this Pango absolutely popping off, the highest net worth in the game. Actually, seriously crazy. Well played to NoPing though. Really, really well played, and it was just, it was an interesting game. As I said, it was just very, very interesting.
I do have to commend Monster at level 28 Pango, and that for a reason. He looked insane on the Pangolier. Top net worth at the end as well. Sublime with his stun locks. Had a full stun lock on the Voker. Multiple enemies the entire time. Same with Theolacor. Got that Fiend's Grip every single time when it was necessary. He barely died on their heroes as well. So even though we're, been bashing onto APU's choices a lot this game, I do have to say NoPing played very well, a lot better on their coordination than in game 1. They found the catches that they necessarily needed. The ban of the silencer really made it so that Theolacor could actually play the game. But yeah, it's just surprising that that very farmed TB could drop so significantly in net worth in the game, just mainly because no one could keep him alive in the process. But regardless, that is, of course, a 1-1 tie between these two teams. And that is actually not really what they were looking for here. Because currently, one of the two teams, I'm quickly going to have to check which one. NoPing is doing slightly better than their counterpart on the other side. Yep. But I'm saying that as APU King of Kings have 1 game less played, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, no, wait. I am actually very, very much mistaken. Wait. I'm very confused.
I'm looking as well. Yeah, 10 games played on NoPing. And then 8 games played on APU. Is that correct?
I think that is the case. Yeah.
So APU still has a lot more chances to still climb up. If they win a few games, they'll be able to take that 4th place spot from NoPing Esports.
If they want to make it, of course, towards the playoffs, which, well, if you get 1st, 2nd, or 3rd, 1st place gets 10 grand, 2nd, 5 grand, and 3rd gets 1k. But it does mean you need to make it towards the playoffs, and the top 4 teams make it towards the playoffs. So it was actually a very important match between NoPing and APU King of Kings, because honestly, it's very close to the point where this match decides who is going towards the playoffs, because Lava, Infamous, and Hokori are miles ahead of everyone else in their performances, and it's going to be very hard to beat those teams as well. But it does mean that it is also the end of the cast tonight. Hopefully everyone enjoyed it at home. My name was Dktruman. I was joined by Sparks. Have a wonderful evening, and in case we don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.